You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. The most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey. The most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
Frustration get the better of you and make you do things you should never do. You got to keep the faith, you can't surrender. You never know, tomorrow may be brighter. Behind every dark cloud, there's a silver lining. So don't give up hope now. We gotta keep on trying. Keep on going. We gotta keep on moving on. As long as you have health and strength, reaching your goal, nothing should prevent. Every time you fall, get up again. Don't sit down there like that and complain. You got to stand up and continue fighting. Don't give up, keep courage, you must win. Don't you know, behind every dark cloud, there's a silver lining. So don't give up hope now. We gotta keep on trying. Oh Lord, we gotta keep on going. We gotta keep on moving on. Obstacles will get in the way, stumbling blocks to hinder your day. But you can't afford to let them stop you. No matter how hard it is to go through, you got to stand up and continue fighting. Endurance shall win in the ending. Don't you know, behind every dark cloud, there's a silver lining. So don't give up hope now. We gotta keep on trying. Oh Lord, we gotta keep on going. We gotta keep on moving on. Strong positive mind, negative thoughts, leave them behind. We got to go forward in sure certainty. Let no element humbug that possibility. But if you give up, you have no way of knowing if next day would have brought good tidings. Don't you know, behind every dark cloud, there's a silver lining. So don't give up hope now. We gotta keep on trying. Oh Lord, we gotta keep on going. We gotta keep on moving on. Behind every dark cloud, there's a silver lining. So don't give up hope now. We gotta keep on trying.
apple of thine eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wing. O Lord, my Savior. It's so hard to deal with personal struggle. So sad when you feel alone in your trouble. It's real hard when you want to talk to a brother. It's so bad because of how some look at you after. So Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and me. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and me. Cover my head. Satan want me dead. Cover my back from human attack. So Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and me. People see you smile, but don't know the hurt that you're feeling. Even as God's child, at times your heart does be bleeding. Where can you go when you're really looking for healing? Who know how to flow when your soul needs some restoring? So Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Cover me home from evils unknown. Cover my feet so I'll never retreat. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my brother. Cover my sister. Them who under pressure. Cover the preacher, every church worker, the young believer. Cover the worship leader and intercessor, every gospel minister. Cover. Jesus alone is the one who has the real answer. The one on the throne is the true and loving Father. He will hold your hand and keep you from going under. He will make you stand and let you know he's a fixer. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Come and be while you fix it. Jesus, come and be. Cover my mind. You know the struggle sometimes. Cover my mouth, that the wrong thing wouldn't come out. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover the Christian in the midst of aggression with the power of your right hand. Jesus, cover them helpless children. Jesus, defend them. Send help from heaven. Jesus, cover all them radio station that blessing the nation. Grant divine protection. Jesus, cover me. Cover me. Cover me.
Truer words were never spoken. The less you associate with some people, the more your life will improve. Anytime you tolerate mediocrity in others, it increases your mediocrity. An important attribute in successful people is their impatience with negative thinking and negative acting people. As you grow, your associates will change. Some of your friends will not want you to go on. They will want you to stay where they are. Friends that don't help you climb will want you to crawl. Your friends will stretch your vision or choke your dream. Those that don't increase you will eventually decrease you. Consider this. Never receive counsel from unproductive people. Never discuss your problems with someone incapable of contributing to the solution. because those who never succeed themselves are always first to tell you how. Not everyone has a right to speak into your life. You are certain to get the worst of the bargain when you exchange ideas with the wrong person. Don't follow anyone who's not going anywhere. With some people you spend an evening. With others, you invest it. Be careful where you stop to inquire for directions along the road of life. Wise is the person who fortifies his life with the right friendships. If you run with wolves, you will learn how to howl. But if you associate with eagles, you will learn how to soar to great heights. A mirror reflects a man's face, but what he is really like is shown by the kind of friends he chooses. The simple but true fact of life is that you become like those with whom you closely associate, for the good and the bad. Note, be not mistaken. This is applicable to family as well as friends. Yes, do love, appreciate, and be thankful for your family, for they will always be your family, no matter what. Just know that they are human first, and though they are family to you, they may be a friend to someone else and will fit somewhere in the criteria above. In prosperity, our friends know us. In adversity, we know our friends. Never make someone a priority when you are only an option for them. If you are going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not an exception. It is a prevailing attitude.
Let me say a special hello to all the WZYE 95.9 FM listeners. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, it's Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Washington, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we come to you every Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. That's every Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, as you join us, do your civic WZYE duty, share the live, WZYE 95.9 FM on Facebook, subscribe, WZYE TV on YouTube. And you can reach us here at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444 or 973-609-6509. That's 973-609-6509. And this is how we start the thing.
Welcome to WZYE TV 95.9 FM. We come to you every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. and on Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. on Let's Talk Politics. Like, share and subscribe to keep up to date with reality affecting your life, and as we always say, we bring the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
You're tuned to WZYE, the heartbeat of unfiltered truth. We're more than a station, we're a movement, grounded in facts, driven by integrity, committed to progress. We don't chase headlines, we create them. Decoding politics and current affairs to question power, not cozy up to it. From Laventille to Scarborough, whether you're in your living room or your commute, this is where perspectives collide, divides dissolve, and tomorrow's conversations start today. WZYE, we originate, not imitate.
And of course, we are back with you. It's Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Washington, and you. Let me bring in the man himself, the one and only, the man commonly known as Uncle Tommy. Tommy, welcome.
Good afternoon, and it's a pleasure being here at Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with you. How are you today?
Today is a marvelous day, Tommy. The day start off nice. Sunday, well, depends on people that celebrate the Sabbath on a Sunday.
Well, that cannot be a Sabbath.
Eh?
That it cannot be a Sabbath.
Wait, Tommy, you're starting off on the wrong foot. You go get the people on Sunday, the Catholics, you'll get them upset.
They have church on Sunday.
That when they celebrate the Sabbath, Tommy,
Sabbath is the seventh day of the week. Isn't that clear?
I'm not disagreeing with you, Tommy, but what does the Bible say about the Sabbath? By the way, I ain't sure. So, folks, tell us. Doesn't matter what day you celebrate, right? We like information. Tell us, what does the Bible say? I mean, we could look it up here, but we want to engage you. Tell us, what does the Bible say about the seventh day? Because most people will say that their Sabbath is on Sunday.
Whether you're Adventist or not, we're just dealing with facts here.
Okay. So the fact of the matter is, so let's take this call. Mr. Intellectual, welcome.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Let me congratulate Uncle T off the bat.
Uh,
Yeah, nothing like any other day other than the seventh day. The Bible says, and I think it's in Exodus chapter 20, where around verse 8, somewhere around there. It says, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shall thou labor and do all thy work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, and he rested on the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
You see,
Good.
anybody could determine that they want to do their own thing. And
That's right.
you might have a lot of people say that I love the Lord, I serve the Lord, and they're nowhere close to what it is he said to do, you know. And they want to come and boast about, oh, them is Christian, and them is this, and them is that, and the other. And they're flaunting God's commandment. You know, that's the only one God said to remember, right? Forget about that. You know, Sunday instead of remember that day. Why you got to tell them to remember if you know they will have a tendency to forget them? We'll keep all 9 excepting that one.
You have to hold on.
Pleasant day, Professor Wall Street.
Tommy, tell him to hold on. Tommy, tell him to hold on.
Hold on.
And listeners.
Just hold on for a minute.
Hold on.
All right, no problem.
Go ahead, Mr. Intellectual.
No problem.
Yeah.
So anybody that assume that Sunday is a day that, well, some man ordained that, not God. Because if God wanted to rest on a Sunday, he would have tell you on the first day of the week, rest. He didn't tell you that on the first day, he tell you on the 7th day. And he also did something special on that day. He blessed it, he set it apart, meaning he sanctified it. Right? So it had plenty benefits in observing the Lord's Sabbath, which is his 7th day.
Thank you.
And if anybody want that kind of blessings, you go accept that. Have a blessed afternoon.
Yeah, man. Thanks.
I'll call back later.
Thank you.
Okay. Go ahead, Juice. Juice, go ahead.
Juice, go ahead.
I hear you all talking about the Sabbath.
Yeah.
Right, but last time I checked, Jesus said the Sabbath was made for us, and not right. And even if something happen on the Sabbath, it's not done.
Nobody
Jesus talked about that.
Nobody disagrees
Right,
with you. We agree.
At the end of the day, the Sabbath was made for us, not the other way around.
Agree with you, Juice.
All right?
I agree.
Yeah, man, take care.
Yeah, man. Dane Khan says, but was there days of the week when that was written? It had Saturday in the Bible. That is according to Dane Khan. Good afternoon, by the way. So he said, but there was days of the week when that was written. What does that mean, Tommy?
I don't know what it means, but what I interpret it to be is that he's saying that when I was written that the days weren't identified, to me the days were identified from the beginning.
Okay. All right. So let's so we're gonna get back to the beginning of the chapter. I don't want this to get away from us. I normally do. Cool Runner says Bible say time for everything. So any day is the Sabbath. Nah. Nah. No, Tommy. No, 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 no. I can't be I cannot. Cool Runner, nah.
There has to be
Really?
structure.
Huh?
There has to be structure.
Yeah. Cool Runner, nah. Maybe Cool Runner, I think you must have gone Joseph Bible. I feel so. Nah. No Cool Runner. No, not at all. Nah. Show me what that in the Bible. Wall Street is Sabbath does be on a Saturday. Okay, Joshua said it's on a Saturday. How we getting this topic, boy? It's Sunday. Robin says, according to the Bible, God works to create the heaven and the earth, and on the seventh day, he uses that day to rest. That is how the Sabbath comes about. Okay, Robin. Yes, but the question is, which day is the Sabbath? Yeah? Which day is the Sabbath? Okay.
Seventh day.
The 7 days is the Sabbath. Now people misconstrue which day is the seventh day. Miss Santa Cruz says, you go to church on a Sunday. The vows that I make, I break them on Monday. The best of the week, I do as I please. The rest of the week, I do as I please. Then come Monday morning, I pray on my knees. Okay. All right. Cool Runner says Hinduism is about 4,000 years before Christianity. So where does that leave Hindus? Cool Runner, Cool Runner, you going all over the place. You know, we just ask a simple, straightforward question. You know? And I'm not saying I didn't give my opinion yet, but I will give my opinion. Tommy Mohammed says Robin and Jean Sukra, the Sabbath day is Saturday, not Sunday. Cool Runner says man write the Bible. Okay. So if man write the Bible, then what? Hey, Tommy? How do you know is man write the Bible and not woman? Oh. Dean can't say it had Saturday in the Bible. I don't know, just asking. What's this one here? Collision 2:16. Semantics say. Tom, you want to look that up?
What's that?
Is that collision? 2:16. What is it? Chapter 2, verse 16?
Collusion.
Collusion. I was wondering. Okay. Mr. Santa Cruz says, continue. Dear God, I know that I'm not worthy, but I need you so. Please don't you hurry. Help me to get back on the path I have crossed. You'll never be sorry. Dear God, Patsy. All right. Klein CLIN. James Howlett this Saturday. Okay, let me see something. Let me take this voice too.
Just after lunch to the village, starting off religious, but nothing wrong with that. That's good. Because the very first book in the Bible, the first verse in the beginning, God. So nothing wrong with starting there. But the Sabbath is a whole, it'll take more than one program to go through that. Because yes, the Sabbath day is 7 days. All right? And that had to do with creation and so on. But then God had to do something else, a kind of recreation. Because things didn't go as it should. And that came to fruition on the first day of the week. Yeah? The first day of the week. That is Resurrection Day. Some people call it Easter. Some of us prefer to call it Resurrection Day. And the saints of God used to be gathering on that day. But any day, it's good to gather and to worship. So it's not just a question of, well, I doing it on the Saturday and I doing it on the Sunday. If my church have it on Friday, I do it Friday. If my church have service Saturday, I go in Saturday. If I have it Sunday, I go in Sunday. I go in Monday. So I ain't going with them. People try to tell you, well, boy, we change. They change the Sabbath to Sunday. I wouldn't say the word, but yeah, but it's more than just a question of rest. All right, it had to do with wood.
Okay. All right. Ramjit, welcome. Philip.
Hey, how you doing, my brother?
Everything fantastic, man. How are you?
Well, glad to join this service, this short service. Oh, man.
Blessings,
Well,
blessings, and welcome.
as is the first day of the week, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, if you if you go to if you go to go into that, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you're throwing a little one day. You're throwing a little one day.
Yeah,
First day of the week. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, listen. If you are going into that conversation, it will take a while. So what I would suggest to people is to do your research, and maybe you could take the answers another day. But what I will weigh in on, according to what I know, right? First, let me make this statement. Right? We could change God's law. We could, the law could change, but God's word would not change. The Bible said that. He said, heaven and earth will pass away, but my word would not pass away. The last caller had it right when he talked about what transpired in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
But after the death of Christ, I just want to short it up because I could correct.
Yeah, go ahead.
After Christ came and died for us, right? The law has changed in terms of the Sabbath day we should live our life every day as the Sabbath day. In other words, keep every day holy according to the Bible.
Right.
Right?
But Ramjit, let me stop you right here.
Yeah.
1 minute. 1 minute. Keep it holy. Does that mean to say keep it the Sabbath for 7 days of the week? 7 days of the week?
No, this is what I'm saying. As when long ago we used to keep the Sabbath, right? We keep the Sabbath, right? And we used to do and all these kind of things. Times have changed, right? The world we're living in today, remember, it's up plenty people they can't work. I have family members who are 70s and them can't work on Saturday. The boss here going on, we didn't work on Saturday.
Yeah.
And if you stay home on a Saturday, they're making it bad for the rest of the workers. No, it's a boss thing to say, well, okay, I would permit you to do so. You understand? So it have a lot of conflict. So if you really go into that, the depth of that, it's a lot of conflict. So what I'm trying to say really is, according to what we read in the Bible in the New Testament, after Christ died, right? After Christ died, every man could go to himself, right? And repent and live your life holy. That's what you see, because you can follow and then no. I know healthy people follow and die. So in other words, what you were trying to say, live every day as though it was your last.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in other words, you keep every day holy.
Right.
Right? Now 70 times 7 a man asks for forgiveness. We must ask God for forgiveness. No matter what you do whole day, you could ask God for forgiveness. Because you're walking on the road, you see a man, your thoughts come into your mind, you entertain it, you sin. If you understand what I'm saying. So sin is something that separates us. As I said, this is a hefty topic. If you're really going to it, you are going to all the details. There's a lot of things to look at.
Yeah, man.
But we're not against 7 days. If they choose to do that way, the whole focus should be on Christ and God.
Correct.
You understand?
Yeah, man.
So I think we go because that topic does have a lot of conflict.
Yeah.
You understand?
But
I'm glad.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I thought you finished. Sorry about that. Tommy. So semantics says it's Colossians 2:16. Let me see this here. How are we going to this topic? Tell me, how are we going to this topic?
You said Sunday. Some people celebrate the Sabbath on Sunday, and I told you that could never be correct.
Oh, okay. Semantic 62 says, therefore, let no one pass judgment on you in question of food and drink, or with regards to a festival, or a new moon, or a Sabbath. Gen C Paul says, yeah, KFC. KFC.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Washington, Uncle Tommy, man.
What's happening, man?
You, bro.
What's up, man?
Everything good.
We are church service. Let's talk politics.
Yeah, we open that church service first. Yeah.
Church service?
Yeah. Church service, Sunday church service. Yeah.
Well, I inside taking the scriptures. When I start talk politics, I got to talk back in.
Yeah, Bless.
Yeah, Colossians 2:16 says, therefore do not let anyone judge you by what you eat or drink, or what you regard to a religious festival, a new moon celebration, or a Sabbath day.
Say that last part.
Therefore, you have to read the whole thing to understand what it says. Therefore, do not let anyone judge you by what you eat or drink, or with regard to a religious festival, a new moon celebration, or a Sabbath day.
Okay, but it said the Sabbath day is on the 7th. So here it is. I ask the question: is the Sabbath day on Saturday or Sunday? The biblical Sabbath is on Saturday, the 7th day of the week. This is based on the creation story in Genesis, where God rested on the 7th day, while some Christians observe a holy day on Sunday. This is a practice that developed later, not rooted in the original Sabbath commandment, according to some Christian sources. Right?
This goes on to say further, this verse emphasizes that believers are no longer bound by the Old Testament laws regarding food festivals and Sabbath observances. I don't know if this is correct.
Okay. So, the biblical Sabbath, the Bible consistently identified the Sabbath as the 7th day of the week, which is Saturday. Creation account, Genesis 2 verses 2 to 3 states that God rested on the 7th day and blessed it, making it holy. The 4th commandment, the 10 commandments, including the Sabbath commandment, are present in Exodus 20 verses 8 through 11 as binding upon those who follow God's law. Sunday's observance. The shift to Sunday observance in Christianity is a historical development with various factors contributing to it, including the resurrection of Jesus on a Sunday. Jewish Sabbath. Judaism continues to observe the Sabbath on Saturday, with the day beginning at sunset on Friday and ending at sunset on Saturday. Not a change by Jesus. There is no biblical evidence that Jesus or the apostles changed their Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday. Some Christian denominations like Seventh-day Adventists continue to observe the Sabbath on Saturday, believing it to be the commandment that remains in effect for all Christians. So, all right. Okay. So, Joshua says, Wall Street, my husband asked one of his families for help on a Saturday, and he said today is the Sabbath day. Kevin says, Pro, talking about Sabbath day, cool runner, run all the way to Hinduism. You're good. Okay. Okay. Suba, welcome. Good afternoon. Blessings to all. Caribbean Soul, welcome. All are doing the chat in reverse, eh? Because of what happened there. Because Mr. Florida, welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Hansen. Good evening, Mr. Tommy. Good evening to all the callers, Texas, and everybody here. Sunday, through God grace.
Yeah, man.
Mr. Hansen, Mr. Tommy, and to everybody. I never really liked church, you know. I went to church a few times with my grandfather, eh? But I find everybody used to dress up too nice, and people used to watch what you have on, and you know, and after they used to shoot in the corner and things, and I never liked that, you know what I mean? But I had two jokes to say, eh? Ask the Pope what is the best meat. You know what the Pope said? None. And
In the church I used to go to, they had two offerings, one for the church and one for the media. So the pastor said, son, I want to see you after the service. So I go in the office after the service. When he took out the robe, you know he had underneath the clothes, a jersey mark Navy.
A jersey mark what?
What Navy.
Oh.
But they do joke. But I never really like it church and thing. But I know I believe in what is right and what is wrong, and because some tell you don't eat this, don't eat that. Muslims say don't eat pork, but other people eat pork, and that's against me. So to me, I really find it kind of a little bit confusing. But once I keep on the straight and narrow, but I will follow the 10 Commandments because I believe that is true. So look on listening.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. Tommy Muhammad said the Sabbath is Saturday. Gen Z Paul says, Colossians 2:16, King James Version, let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in respect of an holiday or the new moon or the Sabbath days. But Tommy, that's contradictory.
Depends on how you look at it.
Well, they're using the Sabbath days.
They're saying don't judge you if you're not a Sabbath keeper.
But in respect of the Sabbath day, so if you say the Sabbath day is the Sunday, then this is telling you that it's okay. That's how I read it. But then the Bible tells you that the Sabbath day is
it's clearly defined. The Sabbath day is clearly defined.
It's clearly defined. I mean, you know, you can't be half pregnant.
True.
Initially, it was Saturday, but because of the influence of the Roman Catholic Church, church is Sunday. So that's okay.
Church is Sunday, but Sabbath isn't Sunday.
Yes, Sabbath isn't Sunday. The Sabbath. Damian Vincent said the Bible is a collection of historical events that also contains principles handed down by God Himself. Okay. Vindra says, and I agree with this, Vindra. That's true. You can worship God Almighty any day. Absolutely. I don't disagree with that. But the idea is that it still comes back to Tommy that the Sabbath is on a Tommy, any part of the world you go, if you go up in Mars, if you go to Russia, wherever you go, the Sabbath is the 7th day.
This is correct.
Wherever you go, doesn't matter if you go, you take SpaceX and go up to the moon, right? It's still it's still the 7th. Kevin Bashir, Professor, ask Pastor Google to clarify your question. I don't know.
You mean ask Google?
Yeah, we already asked Google. We take out the pastor. Robin says Sabbath day is the 7th day that God took the rest. My Sabbath is Tuesday. That is my rest day. Okay. And I think that is, if you want to rest on a Tuesday, but that's not according to the Bible. The Bible says the Sabbath is the 7th. Cool Runner says Muslim Sabbath is Friday, Jewish is Saturday, Christian is Sunday. Okay. But you could celebrate the Sabbath whichever day you want, right? But it's the 7th day.
I don't think it will be the Sabbath. It will be a day that you celebrate whatever you celebrate, whatever you choose to call it. But the Sabbath is clearly defined as the 7th day.
Yeah, Jashoda says, I'm not Christian. I like to know what is the Sabbath day. Well, yeah, KFC.
Hi.
Yo.
Go ahead.
I was sure that nobody started the program soon.
Right.
But the part that's still bung behind a robot,
Say that again?
I said all this part that's still bung behind a robot.
Accident. Yeah, he was in an accident, boy. A serious accident on the Beatum there. Yeah.
But you're all right, and he go to go recover. Eh? No weapon formed against us shall prosper.
Correct. Yep.
But the Star Wars say that tomorrow the king body Emperor Selassie.
Eh?
Yeah, 22nd.
Yeah, man.
20. So we couldn't celebrate the
That's a good thing. Yeah. All right. So, just as I'm not a Christian, I like to know what is the Sabbath day. Well, the Sabbath day is the seventh day. That's the day that everybody, well, not everybody, that's the day that you're supposed to rest from doing any kind of work or any kind of chores or any type of thing, right, Tommy?
Correct.
Yeah, that's what it is. Robin wants to know, did God say that in the Bible? Yeah, it said the seventh day. Right, Tommy?
That's correct also.
It said the seventh day. I mean, I don't disagree, Damien. Keep every day holy. Robin says Sabbath is rest. What is your rest day? That should be your Sabbath. Islam have no Sabbath day. Semantic 62 says, according to the gospel of the grace of God, which is found in 13 books of the Apostle Paul, Romans to Philemon, we do not celebrate any appointed day. Oh God. Now, what is the gospel of the grace of God, Tommy? Is that a what is that?
There must be some separate book.
Is that a different book? Semantics, what's that? Is that a separate book? Tommy Mama says, Robin, read the verses concerning the Sabbath and you will see it Saturday. Damien says, Jesus Christ is the word. Cool Runner said the Bible is a translation of many translations. Gordon Joseph says, that's so true. The Bible said let no man, but some men telling you doing wrong. If you don't do a Saturday Sabbath, true, Tommy, it's correct. I. Tommy, you know what? You know what, Tommy, though? I think you can celebrate whatever day you want. But based on the Bible, the Sabbath is the seventh day. Plain and simple.
Correct.
Plain and simple. You can celebrate it whichever day you want. But based on the Bible, I'm not as learned in the Bible as many other people are. But if you are following the Bible, the Sabbath is on the seventh day. And the seventh day could only be one day. It cannot be 2 days. And the seventh day is Saturday. Caller, welcome. Caller, welcome.
Afternoon.
Hello.
Yes, hello, afternoon.
Good afternoon. Where you calling us from, caller? What's your name?
Well, I'm calling from Trinidad and Tobago, the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
What's your name?
Mr. John.
John? All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, John.
Mr. Professor, listen.
Yes.
The Sabbath is determined by the sun, moon, and stars. That's in Genesis 1. You can find it there.
Okay.
And you can also find it in verse 14 also.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It is also determined by the appointed times. Right? So when you're reading the King James Bible, what you will see is seasons and things like that. Actually, that is not the real translation. It simply means appointed times. And you can get it, it's very easy to find. You can always pull it up and you can find it there. It is also, when you can check in Leviticus 23, right, you will also see it there. Right? And I heard one of the other brother there, Mr. Tommy, Uncle Tommy.
Yes, sir.
Right? From the New Testament, right? About don't let no one judge you in meat or in drinks or on the Shabbat days and so forth. The Sabbath is determined by the sun, moon, and stars. For example, like if you have to know which day is Shabbat day, it will determine by the new moon. Okay? And the new moon is actually a full moon. Right? That is how, because it rules with the stars. Right? And during that point in time, right, the moon, right, at the new moon day, right, at depending on the watches, it depends on the watches of the night, right, or of the day, right, because it usually depends on when the moon reaches a degree of 180 degrees, right. That is like the lampstand, right, because it is in its full bloom. And after that time, the following day would be new moon day. And that new moon day will determine the Shabbat for the rest of the whole month. You know? So the Shabbat is neither Saturday nor Sunday. You know, because
John,
when Jehovah gave a calendar, when Jehovah gave a calendar, right? It is his calendar. But what they will have, right, is not his calendar. They have a calendar determined by Rome. You know? So, but it's really a long story, but I don't want to be too long on the phone itself.
no, no,
Right?
John.
But I just giving
John,
you
I have a question. John, I have a question. I have a
yes,
simple question.
yes. Ask.
What does the Bible say? Which day the Bible say is the Sabbath?
No, the Bible doesn't give a day as a Shabbat.
No,
It
no,
gives
no, no.
that day is appointed by the new moon.
No, no,
So
but
whenever
John.
just now,
No, no, wait,
you
1
asking me
minute.
a question.
John, 1 minute,
You
1
say
minute.
which
I'll give you the time. I'll give you the time.
I'm waiting.
John, I'll give you the time. John,
Okay.
didn't the Bible say that the Sabbath is the 7th day?
No, the Bible did say that.
Okay, all right. So
What
bear
do
with
you,
me
let
here.
me ask you a question. What do you determine as the 7th day?
Well, what is the first day of the week?
Well, the first day of the week is determined by the moon. You see, when you reach new moon day, that determines the first day of the week.
So, John, are you saying that different states, different countries have different first day of the week?
Yes, but you see, when it comes to the constellations, okay, when it comes to the constellations, when the moon, right, it is be usually the first day of the week all over the world.
But John, the
Right,
first day
all
of
over the world is
the first day of the
it
week,
doesn't be
the first day of the
the week
week
is
is the
determined by the
first day of the
moon.
week all over the world. Sunday is the first day
Yeah,
of the
all
week
over the
all
world.
over the world.
No. You're speaking from a Gregorian calendar. You're speaking from man's calendar. You're not speaking from the calendar that is given in the Torah.
All right. Okay.
You see, the whole world doesn't actually know the real calendar because it is given is a Gregorian calendar, right? And time and laws has been changed. So the whole world is in a state of deception. Because when you can remember a calendar determines like the day you're born, the day you get married, how you carry out your functions in life and all these kind of things, right? And that was changed. That was changed since the time
So
the council of Nisan and these things.
So John,
We remember we were born into just go ahead, listen.
are you saying the Bible hasn't taken that into consideration?
No, it had nothing to do with Bible take into consideration when the Most High speak. Hello?
Yeah, we listening.
Yeah, when the Most High speaks, it doesn't change, you know.
Okay.
You understand? Is the world do things to suit their own perspective? Because in terms of the religions and the politics and things of this world, right? You have a lot of greedy, evil, wicked men and women, you know, and some of them know the truth, but they will hide the truth in order to have financial gains, and that is what's going on. Because when the Council of Nicaea had changed a lot of these things, right? Men lost time, they lost track of time, they lost track of everything. And there were so many things that went on during the course of that time. Even Constantine and his son, well, his son was worse than him, right? The facts of the matter is, we're dealing here specifically about the Torah from Genesis all right back to Revelation. Time has not changed in terms of the calendar that the Most High gave. You know, so when people worship on Saturday and Sunday, the innocent it doesn't know. I wouldn't condemn nobody for that. The Most High wouldn't condemn nobody for that neither, because they just simply don't know, right? But the day will come and everybody will know.
Thank you, John. Thank you, my friend.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. God bless.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
This is a very controversial topic.
Yeah. But Tommy, it is controversial, but I will simply ask the question, right? I will ask the question simple. Does the Bible say that the Sabbath is the seventh day? Let me ask you that question. Mr. Intellectual, hold on. Tommy, does the Bible state that the Sabbath is the seventh day?
It clearly defines that.
Okay. Which day is the first day of the week?
Sunday is the first day of the week.
If Sunday is the first day of the week, which day is the seventh day?
Saturday would be the seventh day.
Okay. If you go up to Mars, you go to Jupiter, the first day of the week is Sunday. Okay, when it starts. If it starts on a Monday and it's Sunday, it's Sunday. Right? So the seventh day has to be Saturday.
Correct.
It does mean to say that you can't celebrate the Sabbath whenever you want to. But based on the Bible, and I'm telling people, I am no connoisseur of the Bible, Mr. Intellectual.
Yes.
This one I'm really interested. If you have a new moon, right? And the Sabbath day comes on a new moon, then the new moon only comes
once a month,
right?
Yeah.
So it will take 7 new moon for it to get a Sabbath.
Okay.
Because if he counted it as if it's 7 days, right? And the Genesis is very clear. The evening and the morning was the first day. Morning meaning daylight. Evening meaning night. Right? So night and day makes one day. Right? And God created all these things during those 6 days. And then at the end of the 6 days, he rested from all his labor. Right? And he blessed that day and he sanctified it.
Yeah.
This fella, man, where he get this madness from? It's obvious. It's obvious that have a calendar that the Jewish people and them use. And if I'm not mistaken, it has certain names that the months and all this kind of thing. And the days never change. Right? You have 1 to 7. And then when it came down to writing these nowadays Bible, it went like this. They changed the first day to the Saxon name, Son's Day, right? And the next day was Moon's Day, and Twins Day,
right?
And Newton's Day, and all this kind of madness, right? And that's how come we end up with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right? Right? That's how we come up with the names. But these fellas and them so don't want to keep God's commandment, right? Them go find all kind of things to change the law and do all kind of things and talk about changing God's law. And then still talk about keeping the Sabbath. So what sense that making? If they want to do what God said to do, and they recognize that he said to worship on his Sabbath, and he made it clear, the scriptures, he made it clear that the Sabbath, he gave up Israel because of breaking his Sabbath. They went into captivity because of all these kind of things that we were doing. Right? Now, when come to Jesus' time now, they say no, because Jesus resurrected, we must worship on the day of Jesus' resurrection. Which part in the Bible tell you that you have to worship on the first day of the week or resurrection day? Tell me which part in the Bible God command that you should worship on that day. God took his fingers and wrote the 10 commandments, his own fingers. When Moses broke it up, he told Moses cut out a stone, and Moses had to come back up there and he write it again. And if they don't know the new covenant, he said that he's going to write that same law in their heart and put it in their mind. And they want to change that. So which means God's law is not in their heart nor in their mind. So they can't keep that. It are no two ways about it, you know. It's either you accept God's law because that points out sin, and if you recognize that you're a sinner, you will ask for grace. And if you get grace, you ain't gonna go and continue to sin. Right?
Thank you, man.
Correct.
Thank you.
God bless him.
Yeah, man.
Thank you. You too.
Liliani Cool says Sabbath days is different from the Sabbath. Sabbath days include Jubilee Sabbath. It's capital capital S, or capital S. Check the encyclopedia. Where is Pastor Dutton? I don't know. But I want to say this. This here, I don't get this one here, Tommy. I don't get this one here.
Which one?
There are different Sabbaths. Hold on. Yeah, Mr. Florida.
Yeah, Mr. Tommy and everybody, they talk more calendar and all that, right? But who is the first set of people to ever do a calendar? It's either the Egyptians or the Sumerians, right?
I know.
I think so. I think so. It's either the Egyptians or the Sumerians. So that is another research that are going to who was the first people to create the calendar. I understand.
All right. I don't understand. Tom. I'm saying I don't understand what the calendar have to do with Sabbath. Right? I think this thing is you could celebrate whichever day you want as your Sabbath. But now there are different Sabbaths. I mean, there is, based on the Bible, the 7th day is considered to be the Sabbath day. And don't care how you slice it. You may want to say Monday is the first day. You can say that. Monday is the first day of the week. You can say that. But most people know that Sunday is today is the first day of the week. Right? Let me see if there's any other message here. First week started on Wednesday. Mr. Wall Street, Sabbath is not Saturday. State when you believe it to be. He is scientists believe. That is Neil. Neil says USC, I'm proud to welcome.
Good afternoon, Professor Wall Street and
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Was celebrated on the 28th of April, right? The Sabbath was on the 28th of April when we was tired, overworked, overstressed, and now we rejoicing with praise and fresh to move forward for the next 5 years. So the Sabbath was on the 28th of April. And what I would just like to ask the callers, in Romans, right? If there was the kings and them before, right? Which one? Is it Caesar? Or is who they're following? Or is it Cleopatra who had changed things to suit them? Right? So we would like to know as a caller which one of the version and which one. Because if Saturday, which most of the spiritual leader in Trinidad say is the Sabbath, because they wanted to come after your work and your money in your pocket to give your tithes, so you don't spend it out. That will be the Sabbath. So you see, when man make a religion and change the history of the true theology, the only time you'll get it is when you go back in the King of England abattoir and watch the Anglican theology, and then they go to Rome, they study the theology, you'll see really and truly which is the interpretation of man. Have a pleasant evening. I'll call you back.
Yeah, man. You know, Tommy, you know, folks, you're going for the break, right? Sometimes I just don't understand some people post, you know. You read that post on the screen there, Tommy. You interpret that for me. You interpret that for me. That's your partner.
There's no end arguments about scriptures and politics. Okay.
What does that mean?
He's simply saying that in scriptures and politics there are no end to the argument.
So you shouldn't have a discussion about it.
That's a matter of that's his opinion.
Eh?
That's his opinion.
Yeah. Brooklyn, you gotta hold on. Hold on, okay? We're going for a quick break. Hold on. Folks, let's take that break. I don't understand that. There's no end arguments about scriptures and politics. So you know what? We should just keep quiet. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it if there's no end. You know what I mean?
Then there should be no beginning, right?
Right, there should be no beginning either. Neither no middle. Or you know what? You should start at the end and then go end right there. Folks, we'll be right back. Stick on stage. It's Sunday Talk. Let's talk politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Washington. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
Welcome to WZYE TV 95.9 FM. We come to you every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. And on Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. on Let's Talk Politics. Like, share and subscribe to keep up to date with reality affecting your life, and as we always say, we bring the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
You're tuned to WZYE, the heartbeat of unfiltered truth. We're more than a station, we're a movement, grounded in facts, driven by integrity, committed to progress. We don't chase headlines, we create them. Decoding politics and current affairs to question power, not cozy up to it. From Laventille to Scarborough, whether you're in your living room or your commute, this is where perspectives collide, divides dissolve, and tomorrow's conversations start today. WZYE, we originate, not imitate.
Fire! 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 Fire!
We are back with you. It's Sunday Talk. Let's talk politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Washington, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. That's every Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. Don't forget, folks, as you get in, do your WZYE civic duty. Share the live, WZYE 95.9 FM on Facebook. Subscribe. We are on our way to 20,000 subscribers. WZYE TV on YouTube. And you can reach us here at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444.
Also at 973-609-6509, 973-609-6509. And as the professor said, share that live. Tell your friends to tell your friends. Let's make this movement big and powerful.
Yeah, Brooklyn, welcome.
Hey, good afternoon to you on Wall Street. Yeah. Uncle Tommy, good afternoon to you and give us a listener.
Same to you.
Yeah.
Uncle Tommy, you are a listener. Almost everything that we born into this world and they teach us, almost everything was a lie. I'll repeat that. You see, all who trying to fight which religion is the right one and which religion is the wrong one, all of them start off from hustling and it still continue as hustlers. Hustling from the poor to make the rich richer. They're just like the PNM. Why I will say that Wall Street Uncle Tommy? The Romans and them never had any type of thing, any godly type of good life until after when they see how the Africans and them and the Indians and them was living. Not until they started sail, because they thought they were the only people in the world. So they write that whole story that they gave us after slavery, that we born into the world today and speaking about all this King James Version Bible and all these different things. A lot of people don't even know King James' mother killed his father. King James, before his name was King James, his name was Prince Hines, because it had no letter J. There was no J. So his name was Prince Hines instead of J, right? When they rewrite all these New Testament and things,
they added J. If all the history, you can look back from the late 15th century, there were no letter J. The J came up. That's why the whole Jesus thing and all that came up from the late half of the 15th century when the last letter in the alphabet was invented and it was a J. Now I would say this for you. We have 7 days in a week, 4 weeks in a month, right? We have 4 weeks in a month. 7 by 4 is 28. How the hell does have 31 days in a month? Most of the months have 31 days. Where the another week that we don't know about, where that was, where that days is, where that extra week we don't know about, where that is. Because every week we just say we have 4 weeks in a month, and 7 by 4 is 28. I think it's only 1 or 2 months in the year at 28 days or 1, right? So all these things is things that we have to look at. So when we talking about Sabbath and this and that, all these things is man-made things. Man-made things. When you study Hinduism and you study spirituality, which the Africans had, you will see a whole different ball game. If you live in the true righteousness of spirituality, which also the Hindus also deal with spirituality the same way, which they would pray to the wind, to the trees, all these different things, because in every living thing has a godly force in it that is good for us as people that we don't know about. We only believe that this Roman teaching that they bring to us and tell us about, there's one God and He's watching us, everything we do, and He always watches. But yet still people can kill us. And this God used to send angels down to save people who are in danger. Back in the old days in the Bible, where God sent angels to protect this and to protect. And now we born in this world, we never see none of these things. So I continue to tell people, the angels that they speak of in the Bible for you to use your head is us people. If we live together and we work together, we save each other. This is what it is, But they want us to be divided. They don't want us to have that connection, to be able to be strong. They want us to live divided and continue to be separated in different religions, and we always fighting, we always competing, we always hating each other. But if you study when it comes to spirituality, all you will know is about togetherness and love. And Hinduism have it, in the African teachings have it from the ancient days, right? If you go back to Egypt and all this thing where they get all these teaching from, all these things come from what we had believed in. We were always here. They gave us a God, but in the beginning was only darkness. What do you think was the darkness, Wall Street? In the beginning was only darkness because it was only dark complexion people in the world. And when the light color complexion people see us, the world then became light. They came and find us as dark people in the world. We were always here. All this teaching they give us is nonsense. If only understand what King James and all these people used to do, only would never even be talking about that. King James and Jamestown, Virginia is where the first set of slaves came from Africa. People don't know these teachings. The first set of slaves came on a ship called Jesus, the good ship Jesus from the back into Jamestown in America. You would know that word shit if you know the history about Jamestown, Virginia. This is the thing that we worshiping and praying. People that who did our people wickedness and evilness, we worshiping them and don't even understand it. So all this other kind of religion people believe in spirituality and you'll be more connected and loving each other. That's my contribution.
Thank you for your contribution.
If you also send me something. All right, let me take this call. COP, welcome.
Good afternoon to you, Professor Wall Street. And good afternoon to you, Uncle Tommy. Good afternoon to the big ones, citizens all over the world. What a controversial topic. Why mean Jim? Don't find you shouldn't talk about it. Why did this do them thing?
COP, serious, I don't understand. And this is the thing, We believe, listen, this is Sunday Talk, let's talk politics. This thing just started. Yeah, this just started off from a conversation, and conversation. So he wanted, and it's it's like, me and G need to go and play for the West Indies. Seriously.
And you know what he said after? You know what he said after?
What?
I don't know why it is twist my topic.
Correct.
I don't know why it is twist my topic. There are no twisting that.
How did I twist that? There is no end.
Your first message supposed to be on top. First impression. And the topic you feel on your first impression. But my knowledge about this Sabbath, I always see my neighbors and then that's celebrating Sabbath. They say it start off with the days. I say, why you work? Why it doesn't work on a Saturday? And he said, no, I'm a Sabbath. The 7th day. I said, the 7th day. I said, I thought the 7th day was Sunday. He said, no. He said, the days of the week are Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I said, oh, Saturday is the Sabbath. He said, yes, so they're working and things. But Sunday, they go to church on Sunday, they pray, they give the money in Jesus' name, because you know that little boxes be passing around. They give the money in Jesus' name. And then the pastor take the money and put it in his name. I said, that's Sabbath. I said, see, that's Sabbath. I ain't keep it around. I ain't keep it around that at all. But I like the controversial topic. I ain't know much about it. But I'll continue doing what I wait until the politics start.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Caribbean Soul sent me this. The first people known to create formal calendar systems were the Sumerians. In ancient Mesopotamia, I hope I pronounce that correct,
Mesopotamia.
In Mesopotamia, around 2100 BC, they developed a lunar calendar based on the cycles of the moon. The Egyptians also developed an early solar calendar around 3000 BCE, which was based on the annual flooding of the Nile. Okay. So, that's just information, right?
Yep.
Okay, good. That's information. All right. So, folks, I want to address something here. Caribbean Soul, he, she, they, them is just trying to distract the chat. No contribution of substance. Okay. All right. Banmea talking about some far away from the topic of the program. All right, folks. All right. So that discussion came about from, it's not like if we prepare to come here and talk about that, but it came out from just an innocent question that was asked. Okay, let me take this call. Caller, welcome. Caller. Caller.
Hello, good day.
Good day.
Yeah, hello, good day.
Caller, what's your name and where you're calling us from?
Well, I'm a new caller, right?
Correct.
But I always look at your show,
yes.
but I never call in.
Okay.
But I not too long log in, but I went back to the beginning, right?
Yes.
On YouTube.
Yes.
So I saw the question with Sabbath day.
Yes.
So I just want to say something. If it's okay, I don't know.
No. Go ahead, man.
Okay. The Bible said the Sabbath was made for man and not man for the Sabbath.
Okay.
So that alone tells you. But the thing is too, God, they say, God made everything in 6 days and rest on the 7th. God didn't have to rest, but He's showing us how to live. And then too, the Bible didn't state Sunday is the first day of the week to say Saturday is the last. You understand?
Yeah.
You see, if they want to put it that way, you work 6 days and rest on the 7th. So if I start to work on a Monday or Tuesday, you check 6 days, 7 days, that means what? That would fall on a Saturday or Sunday. And the thing is, the Sabbath is for you to put a day aside to rest and have a relation that talk with the Lord. a day like that. You know, I have no problem with, I know the 7 days, have it on a Saturday. I have no problem with that.
But Colin,
whenever they want.
Colin, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Which day is the first day of the week?
Well, the Romans man put it as Sunday. But what I'm trying to explain, you sound like Wall Street, right? I don't know how to watch the program.
Yeah, I'm Wall Street. I'm Wall Street. Yeah.
Right. It's nice to hear you guys, and I enjoy the program. I must say so.
Thank you very
You know
much.
what I mean?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was trying to figure out what when I log in, like I log in about 2 o'clock. I went back to 1 o'clock.
Right.
So I don't know, you know. But what I'm saying is that the Bible, if the Bible tell me Sunday is the first day of the week, Monday, Tuesday, well, no problem, but the Bible never said that. It said it's 7. So they 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, you know, that's how I understand it in the Bible. But the main thing here is God would the text say the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. You know, and you could that the Sabbath is for it, as I said. So worship God, have a one-on-one with God on a day you think a day. No. You like how that you could have the Sabbath every day, no matter what you say. But then we can't do that. We have to work. And we have to provide for our family and all that. You understand?
Yeah.
Like how they say communion. Communion, you could take that every day, you know.
Yeah.
Because remember, I said this I don't say that before.
Yeah.
You know, but we don't really do that. You know, like when we go to church on a Sunday or what day, you take your communion. You know, that's some people take it more. I just wanted to say that, and it's so nice hearing your voice talking to you directly. You and
Tommy.
Professor.
Yeah, Tommy.
No worries. No worries.
Yeah.
You know, so it's nice you guys.
What's your name, caller? What's your name?
Pardon?
What's your name?
My name is Mukis.
Say it again.
Let's call me Short Man.
Short Man.
Okay. Short.
Thank you, Short
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, man.
Okay, Short Man.
Bless. Okay.
So I hope the Lord bless you all. Keep you all healthy, which is the most important thing in our life.
Correct.
And happy and give us prosperity too. Because we need all those things.
Thank you, man.
And I hope
you
all
Same to you.
And you all get support so you can keep on going on.
Thank
you
you.
all have a blessed day. God bless you all. Bye.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, Short Man.
Thank you. You know, Tommy.
Yeah.
This is interesting. This is interesting. Ram Narayan says, Professor Wall Street, I read where Anisette is telling Kamala they want more union members on the board. I wonder if Anisette is for real. I don't trust him. Banma is talking about Kamala putting it in a way that Kamala don't like Negroes, meaning Negroes as African people. He continues to do distinction, making it look like Indian people hate African. Sorry, all your queen laugh out loud, all your Negroes funny boy laughed out loud. You know, listen to this, I am not going to listen. I have. Let me be honest with you all. I have gotten several messages with respect to what Ban Meha is saying. Okay, I am not going to jump out front until I see the end. You understand? Here's why. The first appointment that was made by Kamala Prasad Processor is a black man. Let me repeat that. The first appointment made by Kamala Prasad Processor, right, to the second highest office in a cabinet is a black man. The Ministry of Works, another highfalutin ministry, is a black woman. Right? Khadija Amin is the Minister of Local Government. All you sit down and take a little, you know, cool it a little bit now, man. Cool it a little bit now. And let me say this again, and I'm going to tell you all this over and over, and I keep repeating this. You know. We had a black man who was the prime minister.
Who call himself the blackest man?
Who call him, thank you very much, Tommy, who call himself the blackest man. And the blackest man in the country had 26.3% of black people living below the poverty line. The same woman who always trying to malign, she took it from 19.8% to 17.3%, a 12% decrease. And the blackest man in Trinidad and Tobago moved it up by 52%. And all they want to talk about black and black and black. Or they look at the facts now, man. Look at the facts. And wait. 7 weeks. 7 weeks. Or they want to look at those facts. Yeah, KFC.
Yeah, good afternoon. I give Mr. Watching Uncle Tommy. Praise the Lord. I thought we could understand, yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Wall Street, I see the union that they start up already. Mr. Anderson Judge.
But KFC, I want to say this, we have to start putting the statistics on the table for these individuals and for them to stop being in silos. Really.
I said the
second highest appointment in the woman office is a black man, and to make it even second, the man was a PNM just like me.
Yeah.
Selwyn Kojo was a PNM just like me. And now they in that party.
Yeah. So he come out when Small Finn call him a dunce. And Rowley call him a dog. And I said, Judge, Donald Trump looking for you, nobody. You're hiding here. Or let us put you back on that thing, Take your time now, you're talking about only sitting on boards. The board, I don't know what to do. I see Mr. X sitting on a big board right now. You know Mr. X, Mr. Washit?
Yeah.
Who's up by already?
Yeah, I see Smalls, well, Mr. X on the electricity board.
Yeah, board. Yeah, some board.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever you know, but Mr. Washit died up on the side of watching to see them jam, you know, them is trapping.
Yeah, man.
Ain't going back.
Yes. Yeah, you on CM Pro. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, you're inside.
Hello?
Yeah, you're inside.
Professor Wall Street.
Yeah.
And Uncle Tommy. You know, these guys, is what I read on the newspaper that Anasika saying that Kamala is, he didn't say directly, but indirectly, he's saying that Kamala is putting more Indians on the boards.
No, yeah, I listen.
He is out of place. See, I don't trust that guy. I don't trust him. He's like a snake.
Yeah, go ahead, I'm listening.
You know, yeah, me say the woman now start her business. You come in already and start the stupidness? Huh? You come already and start the stupidness? What they going to what is what Farris said? He gave 6 months to break up. You see? And these guys showing the colors. They're showing the colors.
Yeah, man.
You see? They start the colors already.
Now,
look, I could name Wall Street. There are people who stood side by side with Kamala, and they didn't even get a position. They didn't even get a position.
I think you can't.
Yeah, and they're not complaining.
Yeah.
What the hell is he complaining about? Huh? Oh, he put it to the Indians. He didn't say directly, but indirectly he meant that.
Hey, UNC, you're going in and out. All right. UNC, you're going in and out. Call back. You know, Tommy, my thing is this, you don't get a second chance to make a first impression. You know the talk You know, the talk would have been different, right? It would have been different if Kamla Prasad Bissessa had appointed Devish Maharaj as the Attorney General, right? And appointed, who we could say, appointed, I'm trying to figure out our next name, and appointed another Indian person as Minister of Works. You know what he talk would have been? Well, let's see, look. They only appointing all them Indians to the high ministries, to the best ministries, right? To the best ministries. You don't get a second chance to make a first impression.
And she made a startling first impression. The woman she knows what she's doing.
Exactly. Let me take this call. Mr. Carnage, welcome. Mr. Carnage. All right, he hung up.
Can't hear you.
No, he hung up. Mr.
She
Carnage.
knows exactly what she's doing, and she's doing a good job.
Yeah. Listen to this, sir. You see the way how we like to twist things, right? Just imagine. I want you all to think about this, sir. Just imagine if the first appointment the Prime Minister had made was an Indian person to the Attorney General. You know what Banman and what I be saying? Just imagine the Minister of Homeland Security, right? And the other fella. Just imagine if she had appointed an Indian to that ministry. You know what I be saying? Just imagine the Ministry of Works was an Indian person. You know what I be saying? Just imagine the Minister of Local Government was an Indian person. You know what I've been saying? Just imagine the Minister of Sport was an Indian person. You know what I've been saying? You see what I tell all you? Look, you only appointing all them Indians. You only appointing all them Indians. Eh? Elder, the one from Library. What ministry he in? Is Kiza or Kuza? What ministry he in? I mean, really and truly. All you need to stop, man.
They need to stop it. They need to stop it now.
You need to stop it.
And focus.
Stay focused now, man. The ministry, the second highest ministry, second highest person in a cabinet is a black man who was a PNM. Kennedy Watson was a PNM. The woman says when everybody wins.
And everybody did win.
Philip Alexander was in a PNM constituency in Fort George, talking to the people to fix their problems. What did PNM ignore for years upon years upon years? Are you for real? Are you for real? If after all the appointments come down, you just take the board, let me look at the ministers too. Let me look at it and see who get. By the way, Tommy, the first Attorney General for the PNM under Dr. Rowley was who? I don't remember.
Paris Alwari.
Okay. The first Minister of National Security, I don't remember, folks. Under who was who?
Under Rowley.
Who? Under Rowley. I don't remember.
Wasn't Phil Gerald?
No. He wasn't the first Minister of National Security. I don't remember. Folks, who was the first Minister of National Security under Rowley? I think the first Minister of Works under Rowley, I think that was Phil Gerald Hines. I think. Minister of Works, I think. Yeah? Who who was the Minister of Energy? Was that Olivieri? I think might have been her, you know. Yeah?
Yes.
But think about it. Think about it. When Prime Minister Rowley come in, the blackest man in the land, most of them people who are the highest ministries didn't look like he. Yeah, KFC. Didn't look like he.
Yeah, Mr. Washington, in my archive, I think the first minister of national security was small pen, you know.
A small pen?
Yeah, then I think it was then after Dr. Dread Hines.
Oh, you think so? I remember. Okay. Look at that.
Yeah,
Yeah, Tan. He looked like Rowley? Eh? The minister work that look like Rowley? Although you want to make stuff up, man. You know what it is, Tommy? It's like the spaghetti theory. Bandman and them showing the PNM stuff up on the wall is the spaghetti theory. They're showing the stuff up on the wall to see what will stick. Yeah? But
they just rabble rousing.
Huh?
All they do is rabble rousing.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, you know, let me separate the forest from the trees now. Let me separate the forest from the trees. Right? We see it's like the Prime Minister went to the Politics Olympics and she win the gold, silver, and bronze. That's what it is.
Yeah, and the losers are agitated to the point where they're trying to make
make
bacchanal.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I can't even find them trying to make bacchanal and confusion. Yeah, yeah. Banmer, you could say what you want. The facts are there. The facts are there. Let me ask you a question, Banmena. What is the second highest office appointment made by the Prime Minister, Kamala Prasad Desasa? What was that? I want you to answer that question. Answer that question. Tell me, which ministries you think will be the biggest ministries in the government in Trinidad? The Minister of Energy, right? Minister of National Security, Minister of Works, Minister of Finance, who else? That's 4 right there. What fifth one you could put in there? As it's a, oh, you know what? Minister of Education. All right, look at here. National Security, Works and Transport, right? The National Security, we have 200% black people, 200%, right? Because we have Homeland Security and we have Wayne Sturge in the other one, right? Works and Transport, we have a black woman, Jolene John. Yeah? Education and Training, we have Dowlat. Public Utilities, we have Pararat. Rural and Local Development, we have Khadija Amin. Housing, we have Lee, right? Education and Training, we already talked about that. Health, we have this other fella. Yes, Mr. Intellectual. So all you, huh?
The first one, I forget his name, right? The architectural man, the one who was investigating the architectural the apparatus.
Who is that?
The first
Security?
Minister of National Security. Some brigadier something.
Brigadier?
Yeah, I can't remember his name. He always looking at the apparatus. Yeah, the architecture, the apparatus.
Okay.
Yeah, remember the man? Yeah, that was when I talk right through. He checking all the architecture, the apparatus.
Oh, okay. That is it.
I can't remember his name. But what I gathered from Mr. George, and he said George, he seemed to be disgruntled because he didn't get a position on our board. That is the only reason why I could see he making a fuss. Oh no, union again what? How much union people get position in this government already? Plenty people who came from on the outside, right? Getting inside it before regular members and them. There are people who had to wait whilst other people was getting, and he still have a problem with that.
Yeah.
And the whole point about it, if you watch the composition of the government, he had no cause to talk about black people getting left behind. He had no voice when PNM was in power. He couldn't come out and talk the way how he talking now. He gave voice all of a sudden. After 7 weeks. Right?
Yeah.
I always watch at him as a different kind of person, you know. I listen to him talking them labor rallies and all them kind of thing, and he don't really too care about Indian people and thing, you know. All he talking about is his black brothers, you know. I being straight, you know. You ever listen to his speech? A day I was in a rally and I felt offended. I nearly licked down, you know.
Oh God.
No, I telling you. But thank God that other people and them are wrong and they brother cool himself now, boy, leave he alone. He man just talking because he had to talk. You understand? But he are racist. I been frank, you know. And he said judges are racist.
But Mr. Intellectual, I don't want to believe that he's a racist, and here's why. He doesn't control any economic power in Trinidad in order
That's
to
right.
be.
So he's a bigot.
Prejudice.
Yeah, he doesn't control the means of power in order for him to be a racist.
Yes, he has to have power in order for him to be a racist. Other than that,
You
other than that,
have
he's a
to have
bigot.
power in order for you to be a racist. So I wouldn't consider him to be a racist. Huh?
He has some prejudicial attitude.
Okay, I could say that. I could say that. But
To describe his behavior as being bigoted.
Right. Racists
Yeah,
are very.
that was my bad. I shouldn't use that statement.
Yeah.
I apologize for that.
Yeah. Because in
All
order
I'm
to be
saying-
a racist, you have
all
to
I'm
be able
saying
to.
is,
Go ahead.
the kind of comments that I heard him made,
Yeah.
right, in some of those rallies and them, when I was in the union and stuff like that and thing, if wasn't for my brethren and them, he would have collected. Yeah, right on top of the podium there when he stand up on him truck and when he was talking, he would have real collected.
Yeah.
But anyhow,
Yeah, man.
when it comes down to this kind of thing, people have to understand that in this last meeting here, all little kinks in the armor, they had to block it up, you know, because watch me, they're coming at 90 from all directions. All directions they're coming at. And they have no chance to breathe, eat, sleep, or anything. Them just had to be on the ball. Understand? Not even the fourth estate gave them a chance.
Correct.
Have a blessed afternoon.
Yeah, man. Bless.
Yep.
Mr. Carnage, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon, Professor Washington, Uncle Tommy. And
Yep, same to you.
I just want to give a little feedback on concerning the article with Mr. Anizet.
Yeah.
You know, after coming off the Labor Day celebration, and I was having point 40, and after seeing the camaraderie between everybody and his statement, I listened to his statement. His statement is questionable. I didn't listen to Mr. Anizet's statement when he was on the podium. Understand? But nevertheless, I think he have a valid point. Yeah, but it's the way how I think it was the day after Labor Day or the day after the other holiday, you know. And I think you have called the Express. I think the Express will have called here. I mean the Guardian, right, to make that statement, right? I think to be honest, Labour supposed to be on state boards, you know, to get that kind of to put things in perspective, right? Understand? But I think Mr. Anizet was out of context, and I don't know if Mr. Anizet's shaping up to be the next Duke. I think the Prime Minister knows what she is doing. After the Labor Day celebration, and I see the camaraderie, and after seeing this in the Express, it was very, very distasteful. And so Mr. Anizet is a person I think you have to deal with him very swiftly, and this thing, I don't think that was in the right way to bring this in the public domain. I think he have all options was meeting the Prime Minister and discussing this issue instead of bringing it in the public domain to make confusion and mischief, right? And that is all I have to say for now.
Yeah, man.
Give a feedback on what you
Yeah, man. Bless.
Thank you.
Bless.
Yep. Because if he had a concern, he could have addressed it in a different manner. Knowing the water state only want to mash up.
Yeah. Oh, let me correct something. The first Minister of National Security was Dillon.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, Dillon. Thanks for that correction. Thanks for that. COP, welcome.
Good afternoon to you, Professor Wall Street and Uncle Tommy again. That's the man, that Dylan, that's the man who try to seize the man condo in foreign. The national security man is down on PNM. Try to seize the man condo. When the man got to realize it, that go this man trying to go and buy building here.
Oh God.
That was a dread arc. When you feel the man go and the daughter save the life. But Michael and I said, I don't think that he say anything bad for the political party. I don't see him as no racist.
No,
I see him as a PNM. I see him as a PNM supporter, and the narrative he sending for the PNM supporters is that look the UNC, I know black people in state boards. That's how I see it. When African people, Michael Anna said, was looking for work and quarreling and saying only Chinese guy, he stand up, he wanted to fight. He wanted to fight African people for Kolahat. And for Kolahat was bringing down a set of Chinese over here, only Chinese workers. So me and see he do anything wrong. He just stand up for the political party and show support for Penelope because that's what you do over there. When you look at this administration, this UNC government, why he must say that he is seeing too much of black people in state board? Why he must say that? Why he don't just say that hey, you know I see qualified people in state board because that is how I see it. Me I see them as Indian people and African people and Chinese people. I see it as human beings and citizens of this country. A leader hired to try and build back this country. Me I look at them as human beings and citizens of this country, Michael Anaset. As a black man, you should never even think as human being, as black people and you and Indian people and thing right now. Right now that done. Right now that done. That type of narrative and that type of politics done in Trinidad. Because when UNC win, citizens of this country win, and human being win, not PNM and UNC. Human being and citizens of this country going to win. And I said, if you wanted to be in a state board, you could call Kamala Prasad Bisesa. You could call she and tell she, well, look, you want to be on a state board or you want position in she government. You rather let them talk shows and them on radio station chain you up to bring out to show your true colors. I want to do the chain up to show you true colors. But you continue supporting the PNM and play. He never come out and speak like the OWTU. He never come out and speak as the PSA, as black people. They never come out and chastise the PNM. Michael Anna said, you never do what Ansel Roger do. You never do what the president of PSA did. You was always in the background, chewing chewing-gum and watching. And as you see the win now, you're jumping for the front. Give yourself now. When you win, see when everybody win. Yeah. If you want to lose, you lose. You do like you do like that union man who what under the People's Partnership they put on the and state board and he resign after. You do like you go in the back. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. I just feel, you know, we making a mountain out of a molehill, in my estimation, because if the shoe was on the other foot, you would have heard people. So it's like they're waiting to nitpick things. To say, oh God, look, I tell all you, and I tell all you, you know. I tell all you, there is a statistic that don't care what we do, we cannot get away from it. And that statistics is the amount of black people. Let me repeat that. The amount of black people that moved from below the poverty line to above the poverty line, 12% in 5 years under Kamala Prasad successor, as opposed to the blackest man in Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, moved it 52%. Which one are they rather? Are they rather the one who making poor people poorer, or the one who making poor people get closer to the middle class? Which one are they rather? Which one are they rather? Just asking. Tell me which one you think they rather.
I don't know what they rather, but they should be looking in a hopeful manner.
Yeah, Mr. Santa Cruz, hold on. Santa Cruz, you're reconnecting. I will want to think. Sorry, Mr. Santa Cruz, call back. I will want to think that if you are about country as a black person, you will want, let me say the person, all right, Tommy, you have A and you have B. You don't know if they're pink, green, yellow, salmon, maroon, or burgundy. You don't know. But you know, in this A here, what A did is reduce the amount of black people living with the poverty line by 12%. B increased the amount of people living below the poverty line by 52%. Which one would you rather? And you're black. Which one would you rather, Tommy?
The one with the greater.
You don't know, Tommy, whether the post is a post from the moon, they're from Jupiter, they're from Mars, they're from space, they're from Saturn. You don't know. All you have is the numbers. Which one would you rather?
I'd rather who's working best for my community.
And they want to call us sellout. They want to call John Jeremy Attorney General, not under one party, two Attorney General. Now he's a UNC, he's a sellout. Selwyn Kojo, right? Very excellent. Sellout. Tommy, contractor extraordinaire, sellout. Anselm Libon, well, all kind of things some of them never seen in their life. Never seen in their life. Sellout. But all you ever ask all yourself these questions, why all these black intelligent people moving towards the UNC? Why? Ask all yourself that question. Ask all yourself that. Kennedy Seward Singh, UNC. Why are they moving away from the PNM? Why are the black intelligent, sophisticated people moving away from the black party to go to the Indian party? As all they say. Why? All they have to answer that question. I could tell all you, I could tell all you. Let me tell all you my reason why. Tommy could say for himself. I'm not going to speak for Tommy. Let me take this call. Mr. Florida, welcome.
Hey, good evening. I give Mr. Anselm and Mr. Comey and to all the callers and everybody in life. Mr. Anselm, me and them is just they like to spew stuff without evidence, you know. You see, we all know, all the right thinking with a little bit of brain cell know. There's nothing the UNC could do that will not get disputed on the outside by certain few. Mr. Anselm, Mr. Tommy, UNC could bring Jesus Christ in the parliament and they go say that is not Jesus Christ to certain few. Nothing the UNC could do without getting discriminated and call as a racist. You see, the funny thing about this whole scenario, when Rowley was Prime Minister, and all the board members was millionaires and senior counsel and people who had different portfolio. Nobody had nothing to say about that, you know. You call out the numbers, how much they pay the boards and the salary, 100,000 for the month, 200,000, 150, and fighting cases on the outside. But nobody had nothing to say about that. But the first thing they could see after 7 weeks, UNC had hired only Indian. You see that the narrative they're born with and that the narrative they will die with. You see, we have to understand, look what racism and division caused Trinidad and Tobago. To make the two highest raised people, Indian and African. Some of the Indians rich, but a lot of them not wealthy too, just like the African. And we have another race, Syrians and Lebanons, come and collect all the wealth in the country. Because you know why? Racism talk and division. And we continue going back down the same path because this man they call Anaset, he was there for many pushback with they had with this radio station. And I see some online. And he always go behind on his word. So I just see he had no integrity. He could say whatever he want to say, but at the end of the day, after give UNC to do the first budget, and after the first budget, when they go next year, 2026, and do the media review, then you could start to ask questions. No one listening to answers that come.
Thank you. Tommy, you wanted to say anything?
No, we were talking about facts. What we're dealing with is facts. What is, not what people believe. The statistics don't lie. The numbers show over and over that Kamala, in her tenure, her last tenure, was made a positive impact on the economy and on the livelihood of people of.
Hold on, Miss Santa Cruz. Go ahead, Tommy.
So I mean, there's no question that she's doing the right thing, and she has to be left to do what she knows how to do.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, Miss Santa Cruz, welcome. Miss Santa Cruz.
Hello.
Hello, you inside?
Hi.
How are you?
I'm not hearing.
Yeah, you're good. We hearing you.
We hearing you.
We hearing you.
We hearing you. You go ahead.
We hearing you. Go ahead. Yeah, Miss Santa Cruz. Oh, your phone reconnecting. Hello? Miss Santa Cruz phone reconnected. Santa Cruz, try back. Your phone reconnecting. There we go. Let's see if this will work. Hello? Yeah, are you hearing us? Yes.
All right.
Here we go.
I'm hearing you now. I was hearing anything just now.
Yeah, your phone was reconnected.
Yeah. The thing about it is, you all started off the program on a religious theme today.
Yeah.
Right? It was going fine. And suddenly, you have this racist band come to disrupt everything. According to my friend Yusel George from Tobago, a racist is an immoral and spiritually bankrupt individual. He sees race behind everything, right? Now, he only too glad here and Zed say something like that he jump on the bandwagon now and only behind you, Paul and he said, what I say, right? Now, if it is that there are enough Africans, now I'm just drawing a reference, if enough Africans did not apply, right, to sit on a state board or anywhere, what she's supposed to do, go on the promenade and recruit them and tell them, come, we have enough, come, to make it politically correct, let us recruit these people and put them on a state board. But I want to tell Banme, right, there are more Africans sleeping on the Royal Bank than you want to sit on a state board. Go and tell Annie said that. Go and tell Andy that I'm sleeping on the promenade. I don't know what is your problem with this racist you. And you're coming now to twist the narrative with Leela Dar saying. Wall Street, if you didn't know, I will tell you. Leela Dar Singh was sitting on the board of the Shaguramas, the board down there, right? He got in that argument with a man on his Facebook page. The man used derogatory racist remarks against him, and he returned the favor. Well, you know, right away the man was sitting on a state board because it was under the partnership government, right? Immediately, Otiwari removed him, right? He was fired from the job. No, you have to bring it back up. What the man say about the next man? Why did it only see one side and hear one side of a story? Why did it do that? You know, I am so fed up of them. We have a country to be moving forward. And every day, once you on, bad me with the same nonsense. We don't care a rat's hairy tail. We don't care. We have a country to move forward. And Wall Street Dylan, that con artist, who scammed Mr. Piper as Minister of National Security, con the man out of his condominium and millions of dollars, and he had to give it back. He had to give it back. As a Minister of National Security, that is what you did. And what Rowley did, Rowley said it was a private matter. Rowley never do anything about it, but coming to give advice to Kamala, but telling her, don't let people get away with wrongdoing in her government. Rowley have no shame, just like Penny have no shame. Rowley has none. You know something? I think that we are so educated in this place for people like Banme to come and disrupt anything. But he does. He come and he disrupt because he's getting everybody angry with his racist statement on the chat. That is what he's doing. And before we move forward, and look, every time Wall Street, you have to keep reminding him about who was the first person Mrs. Prasad Biseta appointed to her government. Look at Selvin Kajo is sitting on the board of Carl.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's a very important board. And before I say anything else, I want to congratulate Ralph Farage, another PNMite.
Yeah.
Who was given plenty potential, really, the ambassador. Right? I don't know what is their problem. You know what it is? How come, I'm going to ask this. How come we never hear it didn't have many Indians or many Africans when the PNM was in office? And you know what? It is so shameful, right? If I'm saying something wrong, forgive me, right? But it was only pink skin around Rowley. It was only pink skin. The man, look at the composition of the man's cabinet.
Yep.
His first attorney general was Harris. You know something? I think Banme needs a ban. Thanks a lot, Wall Street, and have a good one.
Right.
You on.
Caller, welcome. Caller, you have a minute. Caller, welcome. Caller. Caller, we just missed you. Folks, we're going to take that break. We're going to take calls after. We're going to take the calls after. We're going to take the break. I just want to say to you all, don't allow other people to disturb your peace. Yeah, because I know what it is like in order to have a person disturb your peace. I know what it's like. What we do here is we stick to the facts. And I could simply ask who are saying stuff. And I'm going to ask this question over and over and over. And don't forget, the Prime Minister is April 22nd. I am April 20th. She understands very well what she's doing. Understand very well. And they try all kind of thing with me when I was at PNM back in 2010, 2015. I was at PNM. I admitted that. I can't change that. I admitted I was at PNM. I didn't afraid to admit that. I admitted, but anyway, let's take this break. I admitted that Dr. Rowley was in my house twice when he was in opposition. And when he became the government of Trinidad, he abandoned the same people who help him to become prime minister. Folks, we'll be right back. Stick on stage. It's Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Wall Street, and you. We'll be right back. We're going to take just a short break.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
Here back with you. It's Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Wall Street, and you. I'm gonna cut that thing short because Tommy, you know, boy, when black people talk about the wicked and evil ways that the PNM treat their own black people just shiver. Let me take this call. Ulrich, hold a minute. People just shiver. But let me say this to you. Hold on, Ulrich.
You hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Hold on a minute.
All right.
Let me tell you something. The Laventel to Wall Street Empowerment Center was something dear to my heart. But that is something I wanted to put my all into. I don't live in Trinidad. I don't need no building in Trinidad. Something dear to me. And when that evil, wicked, malicious, nefarious, diabolical, heinous, unscrupulous, iniquitous, conniving, vindictive PNM government who don't like black people, mash down that building. And Ulrich on the phone there, he sent me the pictures, almost cried that day. PNM like black people. Them like black people. That's why we don't want to hear from Penny Wigbeckles. We don't want to hear from Foster Goins. We don't want to hear from Marvelous Marvin. We don't want to hear from the Nosebreaker. We don't want to hear from none of them because they don't like black people. And it's black people that's put them in power. Welcome, always.
Yeah, and same boy, that broke my heart to see when you applied to get that building, to see where it was, and to see that just a space now where it used to be.
Just
that
stone,
my heart.
Rubber stone like Chili Baby. Stone. And the PNM like black people. Them like black people. Them does only pretend they like black people when election come. Them only like black people around election time. That is it.
Yeah.
Them only like black people around election time. The PNM, them wicked and evil, boy.
If the wicked again, and same them leave that building. Bush, if you remember, I show you bush going up on top. They could have an apple tree on top of the building. Force it up, bush. Right? And when you apply to do something positive, just like David Mohammed too, David Mohammed applied for a piece of land and they're dancing. Only when UNC come in office, he get through with it. And look how much good thing he's doing right now. Right? So that just goes to show they don't like black people, they don't like we. And you know why? We have ourselves to blame too because we encouraging that shit. You see? We encouraging that because if he wasn't encouraging that, they could not get through with it. But these bobbleheads will be talking about great as the PNM, them is you want to blame and they just say they like country. How you can like country and you're not defending nothing that is proper for the country? Eh? How? I don't understand it. But then again, the Santa Cruz girl, great contribution, girl. Great. You're on point. And the caller before, on point too. You see that? And he said, and same, I'm sorry to say, I don't trust you at all. I remember he from since in Colahad days when Anel Roberts had Colahad cornered. He pick up the fight for Colahad, and Colahad answer a question, he bring me back to slavery time when the slave honoring the master will do anything for the master. He bring me back to that. And while he complaining, he have workers on a boat. I ain't too sure about the stories there, but I remember some workers come up on who working for him, complaining, making complaints. And it wasn't nice.
So I don't trust he at all. I expecting that chain to break, starting off with he. But up to now, I still giving the lady a chance. Let the lady do what she has to do. Up to now, I don't find she making any misstep. And Mr. Cruz remind me of something that I will be complaining about too. Down the islands, the Syrian, the 1% take over down there. How they get there? I never hear about the place for sale. I never hear it for rent or lease. How they get there? How they get down Shaguramas? So much so, they take over the whole beachfront, plus a piece of the road. I want to know about that too. And now I am about to Ravi, so I want to know if it's really UNC giveaway down there or if it's PNM. I kind of in the middle there. Anybody can help, I'll appreciate it. But at the same time,
let me take this next call here. Let me take this next call here.
Yeah, at the same time, these are the things we have to watch. We have to watch big pictures and stop looking at little pictures.
Thank you.
Go ahead with the call-ins.
Yeah, man. Caller, welcome. Caller. 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 Hello.
Hello. Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Wall Street.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Tommy. Mr. Wall Street, from time to time, if you put up the number sometimes people want to get onto you, but the number is so fine going across the screen.
All right.
That they can't make it out.
No problem. I'll do that.
And call it slowly, so people could, not everybody have that. But what I want to talk about, the same Mr. Annie said, I am not surprised. Right? And I don't know, he doesn't understand what time it is.
Yeah.
The time here now, you need people with the capacity and the capability to make things happen. Right? You have to be merit, you have people who could perform, and you have to offer yourself. What's the procedure? She has to go all over try and look to say you black and you black. You have to offer yourself you to serve on a board. That is what you have to do. And their criteria set out as to who going to appoint who's qualified to sit on a board.
Correct.
He's just I think he may be just up to mischief. I have no time with him. What is required in this country here today? You need people who could perform. You're not going there for a show. Who black and who black? Who could do the job?
Yep.
So the question about who black and this one black and that one this and this one is Indian, and that is not the issue. The issue is who could do the job. It's not patronage. Yes, there are people who support the party, but they must show the capacity. They must show the capability.
Correct.
The job to function on a board. So I have no time with him any nonsense. And what people and you, whether you like it or not, the fact remains is that the UNC is a predominantly, just like the PNM, the PNM is made up of a lot of black people and the East Indian, and that has been so from time immemorial. And therefore, those people who are working with the UNC for the last 10 years and more. So if the people of African descent not being in the party, and how they going to recognize you? She had to go and look for them. There's a procedure, and you must offer yourself up. I want to sit on a board. This is my qualification. I am good in accounting. I'm an attorney. I am an engineer. I am like Mr. X, right? OSHA and whatnot. Then you have to offer. You put yourself up there, and then they see like you're right. You don't want people with criminal records there. You don't want people who again who has problem in terms of the you have to suitable for the post. So I have no time with Mr. Anisette. Mr. Anisette probably want to go by the PNM, but he want to find a reason to go by penny. That's what is happening here. Then for us are nothing to offer to this country. Then for us time pass, You want new ideas. You need new thinking. I don't know what's wrong with him. He has his own problem with his own party, with his own union. The workers and them were upset with him. I think that they had to get rid of him. Thank you, Mr. Wall.
Caller, who is this? What's your name?
This is West.
Oh, I know it was Mr. Weston. I didn't want to presume that it was you. Thank you, Mr. West. I really appreciate it, man. Yeah. All right.
Thanks again.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Mr. West, thank you so much. I know what Mr. West said, but I like to ask questions rather than give answers. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, KFC. KFC.
Was the program that your program number one by any guru I radio talking about Mr. West.
Yeah, the guru give you a call, boy, Mr. West, boy. You're inside, Mr. West. You ain't like Flynn.
Yeah. I like to listen to man. The man you be talking with sense and reality.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
And I said, George, that's a while of the PNM, and so all them radio station, I-95.5, them back up PNM station, and them going to remember that from the Star Wars shit.
Yeah. How you mean?
But because I went up in Santa Excellent, I said, of course, the union and them, I saw them all in dragon, manicure, and Rowley, all it takes separation for the last 9 years. We ain't nothing from all here. But we really took away and I said them really wicked and evil. But you remember Congress to say she could put Indian shoe on down board. I look to get the job done for the lower college well. What at the bottom of the ladder was suffering under the PNM for the last 9 years. And I said, you are so black, if you're that PNM, we're rolling, put you on our board. Well, that's why I take that time, but we are going to get better to be trained, and then when you come to make Kuchu and Bacchanal. I look to understand. Tommy, get ready, you're going on board.
Yeah. Let me say this, sir. Let me say this. What happens is that when we allow certain narratives, without any facts, or the process is not concluded, we could always jump to all kind of conclusions, right? I am waiting to see the process throughout when all the boards are appointed. It's the same thing I did with the PNM. I waited until all the boards were appointed. If I jump out in the middle, right, and then knowing that things change all of a sudden, I go have pie in my face. Yeah? It's like I was saying, Tommy. We have people who previously supported the PNM, including myself. And the PNM treated you like a step child. You understand? And when you go to the other side, they appreciate what you bring to the table. It's a big difference. You see? And now we have Penny talking about the PNM lost its way. Penny wait till a decade. Penny, weak, Penelope, weak Beckles. You wait a decade when you become opposition leader and political leader of the PNM to come tell people now, well, you know what? The PNM lost the way. The PNM lost the way long time ago. As a matter of fact, let me put this on the table. Penny, you remember when you first started coming and I had a discussion when you was in when you was the UN ambassador up in the house up there upstate? You remember that? You remember that, Penny? I wonder if Penny remember that. Or I ask Penny if she remember Wall Street and Assembly Bond, Penelope Beckers, and Foster Cummins having a discussion when she was UN ambassador up in her house up in upstate New York. I will leave it there. You understand? Because them just want to come and all of a sudden there's Pontius Pilate. Yeah, we lost our way and we know the people were treated badly. And I here in Tobago, I know you're no Penny. No, you go try to fool them people. Fool them. But you ain't fooling me, yours truly. Because I have the facts. All you evil and wicked, all you don't like black people. All you don't like black people. I could say that. I was with all you. Dr. Rowley right in front of my car. Yes. That one, when he was opposition leader. I could talk. But I don't talk everything that I know. Because everything is not to talk about. You understand? You don't talk about everything you know. But them fellas and them boy. That's why I tell you it's 40 years for them sitting down on the bench. 40 years. We don't want to hear from them. We don't want to see them. Penny coming with all these talk now. Oh, yes, well, you know, we know what it was, and this, that, and it. You, Penny, you had a whole decade. We need a boo from you. Boo! And then you pick a bunch of losers with you. Yeah, the same Foster Goins, who all three of we was in your place together having discussions. I ain't going to tell all about the discussions. That is for another day. You understand? I could tell all about them, you know. I could tell all you know. But there's so much things I don't say. Because not everything good to talk. Not everything good to talk. Not everything good. But let me get back to this. When the PNM mash down that workers' bank building, mash it down, and all them black PNM activists talking about Wall Street, don't get Wall Street no building. He ain't living here. He want a building for himself. I want a building for myself. Hey, Tommy. What I go do the workers' bank building? What I go do with it? Look, please. Please, we even play a video for the day yet. Yeah? Anyway, so folks, Tommy, I want to play this video here. This guy, let me see if I have any voice notes.
Yeah, voice note. You want to hear it?
Play them, play them.
Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street. But all you see it playing out here, right? It's playing out before your very eyes. It's the theory I call microscope and telescope theory. They will view everything the PLM do the same way with a telescope, and the other way, what the UNC do with a microscope. And that is biased and racial and wicked and divisive way that these people in this country that operate. They will not ask the same question with the PLM officer do the same mischief. But only when the UNC here. If I have born them here, have a good day, gentlemen.
You have another one?
Yep.
Go ahead, play.
Good day, Professor Wall Street. Good day, Uncle Tommy. You know what cracked me up the most? It's a certain woman within the PNM. Angry that certain PNM members have nothing good to say about Rowley. Will you say what go? What about son?
Okay. Have any more?
Yeah. This one's still being worked on.
Let me play one here. Let me play one.
Hi. So we who not red and not yellow, but we may support one than the other, but we love country more than the rest. Based on trends, we have said a number of things. Okay, and there are those who try to convince us that this time it will be different. It won't be so. All right, they even changing name, right? Is what UNC Coalition of Interests.
I don't even like that word coalition because anytime I think about that word, I'm thinking about two vehicles colliding, or three, or four. Don't tell me that is impossible, because you know I am not going to lie. All right? Especially when, you know, we have a saying, two-man rat. Well, in this case, nobody is ratted, but the concept. So all of a sudden now he is PNM. Yeah, because he says something. Whether it's true or false, whether it's dotishness or not, he says something, and all of a sudden, because he said that he's PNM, all of a sudden, when I don't want to laugh, when you win, everybody win, really? I'm still looking for explanation for that. I'm still looking for explanation because to me, for somebody to lose, for somebody to win, somebody had to lose. All right? And I am telling you, prepare yourself, you know. Because when the thing hit the back of the fan, the fact that the fan is on, all right, I ain't no pessimist, you know, but I'm a realist. I've been here 63 years plus. That's before White Line went on the road. And I've been exposed to the politics over the last 40 years or so. All right? So I ain't joking, you know. But go ahead. I could take my mother and I could take my, PNM, wherever. Go ahead. Right? And I hope you deal with the issue instead of the person. Don't deal with the man, what he say, what he say, deal with that. Mash it up, break it up. Call him now, you have his number. All of a sudden, things change now. Right? I'm sorry for all you know, because I'm telling you, the worst is yet to come if you don't deal with the system. If you only deal with, we win, is what you will get. Yellow is the code.
Two more voicemails.
Go ahead.
Hi, pleasant evening to you, Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street. I'm an ardent listener of the program. I want to make my contribution based on hearing different people speaking, you know. And I'm going to give you all some solid points, right, as a contribution to the program. And a keen love of the Prime Minister for empathy and sympathy, a woman that has won the Global Award, right? Just it was about 5 weeks in office, and it was stated that she has been a woman of empathy. So she has already come in with a great legacy, right, in the international community. That is what happened to the opposition. They are called rebel rousers, right? They are a bunch of rebels, right, with one effort to weaponize the government through a propaganda machine. You know, the defeat is like none to this. Let me give you another example. You have, let's say Cassius Clay, right? Let's say he had no rivals for 3 decades, right? Just to make a point. And then someone would come out of nowhere and defeat him. Now that defeat is so hard to handle that it's not easy to be reigning for so supreme so long. And then you have to put your head in shame now before our audience. While you're saying 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're going down and you can't get it. But that's what happened to the opposition, right? The PNM brigade and its leaders. What has happened? The defeat, they can't handle the defeat. So the only way to match that is to do sweet revenge, right? But notice something, each time they speak, they put in the foot in their mouth, right? It reminds me of how they say, whenever a person is found guilty, right? they say you have a right to remain silent. And anything is said will be held against you in a court of law. So this is what happened to them. They've already been found guilty, and they do have a right to speak, right? And everything they say is being held against them. Let me give you an old saying. Ever heard it? When bush cut low, snakehead does show. When bush cut low, snakehead does show. You must keep that as a mantra on your program. Let me give you the breakdown to that. The snake in the ball is showing up. All of a sudden, we realized that the Whitehall was a place for a pigsty because Rowley is a big pig. So therefore, you're living in a pigsty very comfortable. And let me tell you why I gave my the people turn against the PNM administration. You see, they was living in the sky and the people living on the ground. Once Sinanani was driving in the sky. So he never see the bad road. Right on Richmond Street, right when Ministry of Works is there. Yeah, big hole in the road and on Edward Street. Imagine that. Right? And he's the Minister of Works, and yeah, they live in the sky. That's why the people turn against them. They realize that they don't come down and meet one-on-one with the people. Because they already meet one-on-one with the financiers and the oligarchs and the aristocrats and the diplomats. You see? And the financiers and the friends and family. So that's where they meet one-on-one with, not with the people that put them in. So then the people saw it fit to put them out. But now they can't handle defeat, you see, wrong and strong. And this is what causing all this propaganda machine. Right? But what I want to say, I remember that the Speaker of the House in the whole administration, they used to mute Kamala. I don't even remember that. Yeah, they used to mute her while she's speaking. And I think the Speaker in the House didn't need to mute them. As they started to talk garbage and spewing frothing by the mouth, we mute them one time, show them the same, those who don't like so. Yeah. So that's my partly contribution now. I will make a next contribution at another point in time.
Okay, let me take this call, Tommy. Caller.
Hello?
Yes.
Walter.
Yeah.
How is the weather in New Jersey?
The weather is fine. I can't see outside.
44 degrees.
Heat wave.
Very hot. 3 days today, tomorrow, and Tuesday.
Heat wave.
Anyhow, the station hot this evening, man.
Yeah.
It has some people, I know, they really don't make up their mind what they want in life, right? They don't make up their mind what they want in life.
Correct.
When they get good things, they don't know how to appreciate it. When they get things that could better their life, better the family life, better the population life, they don't appreciate it.
Yeah.
And what has been done there? It's true that they went there for one purpose. And that is not good. If you know you cannot support a party that you're going to join with, don't join. You see? No, listen to these guys, and I don't know. Anyhow, well, ridiculous, right?
Come on, bless. What next one?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Gordon Jordan, we can say he's going to vote for the PNM party in general elections now. Oh gosh, coming with this stupid country. All the time we didn't talk in country in PNM was for doing mischief and mayhem in this place. They're supporting our foolishness. Right, Rock, so just Rock. Professor Wall Street, you bring a triangle head man to talk his total foolishness. That man talking rubbish till the UST come into power, right? One set of garbage, and the mouth stink. It's nasty. Some leader, some political has been party that can give up the ground. Right? He alone is the political leader and he's the membership of the party. Nobody voting for that club. But he's talking a sort of foolishness right through. Right true. And you have to use the word lies because most of the things he's saying is not truthful at all. It's lies, and more lies on the triangle head man mouth. I know he play E4. He's not a waste of time. So I really named Delilah, I was dealing with him and I hope she come back and deal with him because right now he's looking for a woman right now. He can't get on. But there's a guy Robert over there. Rock with yourself. Rock with yourself, man. You know what you
have any more?
That is it for now.
Okay, all right. Mr. Florida, welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Hanson, Mr. Tommy, and everybody. Mr. Hanson, before you go on, you had a man in your car. You see that fire thing you just played it? Play that for yourself.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Fire! 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 Fire!
I have a next voice note. Hold on.
Yeah, when you're done, I'll play mine.
Good afternoon, Wall Street and Uncle Tommy and everybody out there. To the gentleman who wanted to know about who gave away land. Nobody gave away any land, sir. According to Mr. Aboud, right? He don't carry home the land on an afternoon when he's going home. The lands were leased, right, to develop Shaguramas for domestic tourism, right? The Shaguramas lands, 11% of the lands were used, 9% by the PNM and 2% by the partnership government. Nobody didn't get any land. And all the people who say that they had land down, you remember when Rowley and all of them was marching, oh, get it. Okay, fine. Those who had, those who were living down there on the land that they would say they were cultivating, it wasn't for their, it was for their own purpose. It wasn't to feed no nation. Okay? And now I'm quoting from Dr. Tiwari when he was interviewed concerning it. Some of them, they were compensated. They were compensated for whatever produce they lost. Some were given HDC houses who were living in shacks down there. They benefited. Nobody lost under the partnership government. But then again, it was the PNM propaganda. And we hear Foster Cummings talking about propaganda. And I'll tell you again, 9% of the land was used by PNM and 2% of the land was used by the partnership for development, for domestic tourism. And people used to go down there. It was a beautiful place down here. And when UNC left office, it was destroyed by the PNM. They hired Martin Daly and everybody to say that it was illegal. The lease of them were not good. Really? And up to now, the people are still there. Up to now, they are still there. They were only BSing the people. All right? Thanks a lot.
Go ahead, Tommy.
In facts, I think eventually he'll adjust the opening statement. Fact. What is fact? What is fact? My partner sitting down in the car, we're going up the road, and he say, hey boy, watch up the road, it have fire up the road in the road. It have fire up the road. Then we reach up. You see no fire. But you see it higher up again. He said, nah, man, you gotta go up more, you gotta go up more. He go up and says. So there's something called mirage. Alright? Mirage. It look like, it may sound like, but it isn't. But that's his fact. His fact, that's what he was seeing. I didn't see it because I know it. Right? So I come inside, I say, boy, I'm smelling curry potato, boy. I'm smelling a serious curry potato. That is my fact. That's what I smelling in the house. You want to tell me that no, what I smelling is not curry potato. I smelling fried bygone. No, I smelling curry potato. And when the man opened the pot now, he see chicken curry or curry chicken. No potato at all. So you have the truth and you have the fact. Fact? What is fact? My God.
Mr. Carnage, Mr. Carnage, welcome. Hello?
Yeah, good afternoon again.
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Carnage.
Listening audience. I just want to the last caller. I just want to find out right from Carnage, that's information bringing to the general public. I want to find out from the last caller who made the payment, right? If it was under the people partnership for the Guava farmers. And she was correct in some of her statement that some of the farmers and them wasn't producing to say, well, for the general public, but some was, right? And it wasn't really about the farmers, you know, it's about the wetland, you know. Remember, they was going to cut a road, right, into Guava Road and put, I think it was hotels, right? And this is what the marches was all about. Yeah, some was about the farmers, but they didn't want to destroy the wetland. So when people bring in information to the public, trying to look good, Mr. Guy by the name of Mr. Joseph, he was on Facebook, I think it's wetland development. So to me, I think it's too late now. I think I'll try and get onto a program during the week, and he could discuss, right, the issues that they still face, right, for the past 10 years, although some of them was compensated by the PNM government, and the challenge still faces today by CDA. Right, the board, I think it's 18 more boards to be filled, right, by this administration. I think CDA is one of these boards have to be bringing new board members. So CDA have the Guava farmers still have issues concerning that piece of land down there, right? I will try to get on. During the week, I will send a number for you from Mr. Joseph, and you can have him on your program whenever you feel so.
All right.
When you see it.
No problem. All right.
All right. Two more voice notes.
Go ahead.
Share with your listeners. So, if you went by the river, right, or the sea, and a current tried to put you in, I got a sword, and somebody on the bank was able to reach out the hand before you could be pulled in and be thrown. Now, what has happened? Two things you just remember. The water that tried to drown you, and the person that attempted to save you. And this is exactly what happened. People remember from 2010 to 2015, under Kamla, he was eating our food. The water supply in the pipe was 24/0. Many things was just in a gear. 146 negotiations was fulfilled, right, under the Kamla administration back then. And she has a track record. So people remember the person in the bank that tried to save them against a corrupted government gone by, most lawless, corrupt, right? Full of embezzlement and fraud and complete discrepancies in every area, right? No transparency, no accountability. And the people that are asking, they're asking about what Kamala, where she getting money. I think they need to keep answering the opposition whenever they say that. They must answer immediately, spontaneously. Where did the 630 billion, over half a trillion went? Don't try to tell them where you're going to get the money. That is not the answer. The answer is, all you is the one who take all the money and leave the treasury, right, with only cobweb, right? And even while they call the election, they're still borrowing money. what a wicked regime. You see, and leave the country in so much deficit. And Kamala already knew that that would have been the situation, because you know they corrupt and full of injustice. Right? And these the same people are trying to, after they raid the treasury, with all the CNC3 and TV6 and all of them, right? Workers for the PNM. And who gets the kickback? The 1%, right? All the uppity ups and the oligarchs and the autocrats. Right? This is why Kamala see all that done now. Right? Yeah. She don't get a dialogue with them, you know. She just being up with them, but she already said don't test her. Right? She's just trying to do transparency with them, but the question is very wicked. And she needs to stop them from asking the same questions over and over, which I think is that she letting them know she's already answered that. So that's just to show you how there's what you call rebel rousers. A good terminology for them. Yeah. So that was their mission is a propaganda machine as a weapon, right? To fight down and trying to, but they can't destabilize the government. That's just intimidation by talk. But they are actually talking from a political cemetery. And they're talking to ghosts in a graveyard. Yeah, it's good going off. Yeah. When we finish, we're going to need the whole bunch of them and pack them down to St. Anne's. Because that's where all of them belong. Alwari, renters, Zitamato. But if people renting, or they could stand the ground. Because they're in them ground. Some of them squatting. A big headless attorney general of time pass, and they want to call people dunce. Imagine that, dog and dunce. And that is the nature of the party, see, they can't speak. Right? If you take a pig and carry him to church, right, and put a tuxedo suit on him, and put him in the pew and make him say hallelujah and amen and praise God. When the service over, where you headed back to? Straight to the same pigsty that Rowley belonged to. Same one how the white dollars are pigsty. Yeah, that's what it is. Rowley's a street fighter, you know. He's supposed to be living on the corner with the boys with two top buttons open and with a short pants and a white socks and a gym boots and living with the boys. The man is most unceremonial and undiplomatic. I think the Caribbean islands don't like him because of his nasty ways that Manning talk about. The only thing Manning didn't do when UNC win the election was to stand up on the grave and say the same thing I tell all, that this man is a regent, insulting you and parliamentarians, calling them names and shut up and all kind of thing. That's any man who the whole international community that know that this man is unceremonial and undiplomatic. Right? You have nothing comely about it. And never saying do things for people to like it. And if he's after Wigan and any own people vote him out 14-1, which is actually 15-0 in reality. When your own people are like it, I said, you know, he tells PDP for them, he tells them because they vote PDP, I'll never forgive about them. And a man still holding that bitterness and biasness for him. Yeah. I said that to go into hiding, but nobody wants to see them. Yeah. You never get a message when you get like 15-0. The 14-1 was well, they tried to steal one. And all they make an attempt to even polarize the polls again, but it could never work this time. Not that they're working this time. That's Philip Alexander said. And this is what happened with them, boy. They try all kind of thing. And let me bring something to your attention, right? And then the all listeners. You know, UNC won this election on their own. Normally, you don't be paying them without a coalition, right? They won this election on their own. Yeah, UNC, check it out good. So the end justifies the meaning. This explains why PNM will never see another election again. Right? They'd have to sit on the bench for the next 100 years. I hope they just disappear into like a vapor, into the atmosphere, and we get a brand new opposition. These people just like a sofa in the way. So they need to tell them, move all your sofa out of the way. Okay, that's part to contribution. in the same effort of trying to destabilize the kind of frustrating present government, are doing the best.
There's another one.
Yeah.
So much things was passing.
Stop it. Yeah, let me stop it.
Many things.
Because time running out.
We dealing with stand your ground, she the things as highlight, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. They're too long. They're way too long.
Yeah. You gotta you could check and see how long it is. So when we have enough time, we could play the whole thing. Doesn't it tell you the time on it?
Yeah, that's three and a half minutes.
That one there, the second one?
The first one was 3.5. The second one is 3.5. And then that
first one was longer than 3.5.
First one was 7.21.
Yeah.
The second one was 3.37. And then I have a third one which is 6:43. And a fourth one which is 39 seconds.
Yeah, them, you gotta make them a little, if we could, make them just a little shorter. Caller, welcome. Nairon, welcome.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street.
Good afternoon.
So the article here, Mr. Professor Wall Street.
Yeah.
In this article, a man say, let's scroll down a little bit, I'm an next phone with me. People will say anything in Trinidad when they can't get their own way. That's part of life. You read that?
Yeah. Yeah, you
said. Me say, the article I sent.
Yeah, I saw it. And
so,
deny sex claim.
You listen to Mr. DAG John Jeremy contribution in Parliament?
Of course. Yeah.
When he say, some man on the next side like to leave the mic on, unfortunately, fortunately. And he tried to defend the name, the Honorable AG, about somebody shooting the word dunce. You read the article?
No, I mean, I listened to the speech in Parliament.
Oh, you listen to the AG speech in Parliament?
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Well, if you listen to it, if in here, the AG speaking about somebody using the word dunce in Parliament.
Yeah.
Him.
And he told him he had also used a red pen.
A reading pen.
To
correct affidavit.
Yeah, to correct.
Yeah.
That was a brilliant answer.
Yeah. Nobody come out to defend the AG. And he's a black man, right? Nobody come to defend that. The AG talk about 2 years. They ain't pay them the liquidators and them. 300 and something million they showing them a bill. Anybody give a rebuttal to that? And then the King's Council pull up on him. So the judge, I said, no one pay me in 18 months. Huh? And the AG, Honorable AG say, he didn't say what I will say in Trini language. Hey, you better come with some paperwork, yes?
Correct.
Because me pay nobody willy-nilly, chew them out kind of thing. That's what I go say. But he didn't say that, obviously. But I will pray across to them. And he come out to defend the grandmother. He calls her a grandmother. And he go do battle with you and you watch the whole speech. You should play that whole speech a day. A evening or something before I start the show. When the AG come out to defend the Prime Minister.
Yeah, man.
The AG office and the Treasury. Have a good evening.
Yeah, man. Bless.
Right.
Thanks.
Frank Robinson. Frank, I don't understand all this, I think this might be Frank's first time here. Frank, anyway, you know what? Let me leave it alone. I go take Tommy advice. Stray dogs don't bark at every car that goes by.
True.
Right? Frank, I go take my co-host advice. Stray dogs don't bark at every car that goes by. So Caribbean soul, I like you read my mind, boy. He said, Frank, you and Rory go fight the one, leave us alone. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's like, I, I, anyway, yeah, I don't know. Eh? Sometimes I wonder, folks, put your closing quotes in the chat and your closing comments and send your closing voice notes. So, folks,
I have a half a minute note by Bitcoin.
Go ahead.
Gordon Dryden, you sure it's fact. You're smelling a lot of flatulence, you're smelling, boy? Because you talk a lot of flatulence, you know. How you could do the difference between cooking curry potato and curry chicken? I would like to know that. Because anytime you throw curry in a pot, even if it's a curry chicken and curry potato, you wouldn't know the difference much, you know. Boy, only for something else, you know. We sitting here time to talk about sort of flatulence. Have a good day, Uncle Tommy, Professor Wall Street.
All right.
Do you have that other person's the shorter voice note for the other person?
Let me do it.
How long is that one?
The shortest one is half a minute.
Okay, yeah, play that one.
Ooh, he sent another one again. There's a short. There's a you see he in addition to that short one that I told you about, he sent one that's 4 minutes.
That's what?
4 minutes.
And don't forget when Bush
No,
got
hold that one.
Now this is half a minute.
make anybody say. Never forget the water that tried to drown me.
Hold on.
Remember the hands that tried to save you. That's what come that way. No trying to save us from a man who tried to drown me. 9 times what was it? George Floyd throat. 9 times the man said he can't breathe. And the 10th time he dead. And 9 times the government had put in the truth. Year after year, 9 years. And if we get them at 10 times, we'll be dead like George Floyd too. Right now, pay them dead. Yeah, I promise to make a contribution to the Sabbath talk, right? Let's estimate, if I could put it in brief. Now, you see, to try to understand the Sabbath properly, and the laws, you have to understand it's linked to both the Old and New Testament, right? It is written that the law came by Moses and grace and truth came by Jesus Christ. And Christ was the end of the law. And Isaiah 41 tells you that he came to magnify the law and make it honorable. So when Jesus came, he didn't come to destroy the law. He said, think that I am come to destroy the law, but to fulfill. He said, it is written that a man, thou shalt not kill. See what if you hate your brother is a murderer. Is it? And he magnified all the laws, right? Everything was magnified. Right, you read that carefully. And here the Sabbath was magnified too. The Old Testament was, thou shalt keep the Sabbath holy, right? If a man not keeping the Sabbath holy, he ain't keeping no Sabbath. You got to keep the Sabbath today and the rest of the week they live on the holy. So I know I'll keep no Sabbath. Hear what Jesus said, come unto me, all that are heavy, laden, and I will give you rest unto your soul. So the magnification of the Lord changed from the rest of the body unto the rest of the soul. Right? We rest in 7 days a week from sin. And not just on a Saturday. Right? So this is the rest on a Saturday and the rest of the week you live in wicked. You ain't keeping no Sabbath. So you don't really know Sabbath keeper. The true Sabbath keeper is the one who keeping Sabbath 7 days a week like Jesus said. And when Jesus came, he said the Sabbath was made for man, but man for the Sabbath. And he himself healed on the Sabbath day. Remember they tell him about that? They say, oh, you could heal on the Sabbath day. Right? He said, I'm the Lord of the Sabbath. Right? They say, oh, you could heal a man who was lame for about 38 years. Yeah? And he said, if one of you all, if you have a donkey fall into a ditch on the Sabbath, wouldn't you pull it out? All that he tell them. So you're showing them all, you're not keeping no Sabbath. I come now and I magnify the law.
Stop it.
Right? From 1 day to 7 days a week. Yeah.
Got it,
So
Wash.
that,
Got it,
yeah.
got it.
The law was actually magnified. Yeah.
Tommy, how long is that?
That they have how much more?
Yeah, KFC, welcome.
I have a whole minute again.
KFC.
Sunday school style from 1 to 2. I just have to talk politics, closing comments.
Right, KFC.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Washington, Uncle Tommy, man.
Yeah.
Hey, Kay.
Closing comments. All right, brothers, all right, take all the thank you, good work. Right now, we've been investigating.
Where KFC?
KFC.
And look at house and all them kind of things. Yeah, man?
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead.
I said, Mr. Foster, come and we investigating you, be a man right now. Because if you don't hear that program with land and house and all them kind of things on that. Right now, we have we investigating that. Mr. Worship, even I love for black people so much. When you was a man was roll out the red carpet, eat the lobster and steak with rolly and all them pain and plan, because you was there. And all the talk behind. You see, you come from, man. Stand up here and on your head, Berlin.
Yeah, wake up a little bit.
This stand up for black people at all. So I look to us still blessed.
Yeah, man, bless.
Bless.
Hold on, let me take this voice note here.
Good afternoon, Wall Street Uncle Tommy, and to everybody again. So, Krishna Islam come with between 2010 and 2015, the UNC government spent 1.2 billion in legal fees. Okay, fine. But we also got back money. We won cases. We got back 1.2 billion alone from the BAE, right? From the OPVs and them, and other cases that they won. We are hearing the PNM government over the last 10 years spend how much money, how much billions, and they never won a case. Tell us now, Krishna Islam, how many cases they won, how much money they got back, and stop being fictitious. Because at the top you're saying it's 1.2, and at the bottom in your closing comment, you're talking about 1.4 billion and 58 million here. Oh, please. Everybody know what the PNMIs is lying. Jesus and ages, all the water in the River Jordan and the River Ganges can't wash out all your lies. Try it. Because you know what? There will always be somebody here to correct all your lies. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Miss Sandra Cruz, you're right. One time we put up a closing comment. Let me show you how PNM people does lie. Eh? Closing comment from PNM Fox. 1.4 billion for legal beef between 2010 and 2015. Payment raised from 58.1 million to 1.3 million, right? That is one day. Yeah? I'm gonna get the other one for you. The Scar Gate Street. The Scar Gate Street. So you know anytime you get something from them, you know it's a big lie. Get the other one. Where the other one, boy? Where you put the other one? Hey, like you get rid of the other one, boy. Let me see. 1.3. Yeah, KFC.
Yeah, Mr. Washington was breaking up now.
Yeah.
Remember you was in the belly of the PNM?
Correct is right.
And you know the beginning they do black people and poor people.
And KFC, I never ever make any. I never come and lie to the people and tell the people I was not PNM. I told them I was at PNM. Me lie.
Yeah.
I tell them I had rowdy in my house twice. Me lie to them.
Some of them like I said and I said George and them.
Yes.
And then some of them, you know, them was PNM and complaining on a piano, you come out and talk truth to power.
Correct,
But
right.
Mr. Worship, when you were Rowley and I was in a position, Rowley come by you, all the roll, all the red carpet, this, that thing in there. You talk behind the scene, you tell me how the Berlin, tell the black playing in the East West corridor, they break down the Berlin, me a PNM callers come out and talk, black people come out and talk fair, you know.
Yep.
And I said, George and all of them, you know. He just like William Money, all of them, you know. When Kamala radio attack, I said she holding up on rental building, you know, come to tell me all the UNC was 2015, he was getting rent 10 time and the PNM with 8 months rent.
Yeah, we're going for the
If
break.
there was something wrong with black people, them love separation, like to push us at a race.
Yeah.
Must I watch it like going for me, right?
Bless.
That's the customer for the PNM plan, right?
Folks, we'll be right back. Stick on.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. The most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey. The most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
We are back with you. It's Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Walshit, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. That's every Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. Don't forget, folks, whenever you join us, share the live, share the live, share the live. WZYE 95.9 FM on Facebook. Subscribe. WZYE TV and YouTube. And you can always reach us here at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444.
Also at 973-609-6509, 973-609-6509. And don't forget, like the professor said, share the live, share the live, share the live.
Of course, folks, I wanted to do something here real quick. We're supposed to do this at the top of the hour, but okay, it doesn't want to do that. All right, it doesn't want to do that. Okay. All right. So, folks, let me give, of course, folks, you know, we here, as we say, we bring you the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And we are always going to bring you facts. We are not going to bring information that's distorted. You know, we are not going to mislead you. We are going to bring you the facts, the whole facts and nothing but the facts. And whatever it is, I am always going to tell the truth, because I said to you many times, 37 years ago before I got married, my mother-in-law said a lie has no memory. Right? So, all right, if I tell you the truth, I don't have to remember anything. And that's the way it's supposed to be. Yeah? So here's my closing comment. I think I have my closing comment in here, but I get this closing comment from, this is our closing comment that COP sent to me, and I liked it. So here's my closing comment.
As long as your heart is clean, don't fear anything. Let them gossip. Let them lie. Let them plan your downfall in secret. It won't work. It never will. Because when your hands are clean and your heart is right, God fights battles you don't even see. He shuts mouths behind your back and turns their evil plans into your promotion. They throw dirt on your name, but God turns it into soil, so you grow even more. So stay calm. Keep your peace. Don't chase revenge. Don't explain yourself. Don't lower your standards to match their bitterness. Time will expose the truth. Karma will play its part. Shame will sit in their lap when they see you rise. Just stay clean, stay kind, because heaven doesn't forget. And life always returns what people plant. They wished you evil, but all they did was bless you, because a clean heart always wins. Drop amen if you receive this message and join our community for more. God bless you.
From where I said this is it, the clock on the wall said that's all. I like to stay where I've got to go. Remember, hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. And for every 60 seconds of anger, you lose 1 minute of happiness. Remember, your circumstances may determine who you are, but you are responsible for who you become. Go ahead, Tommy.
This is motivational, and it's from Maya Angelou. You may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. Again, you may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. Like I always say, you, the man in the mirror, have to become that change you want to see. However, when you're looking at the mirror, if you don't like what you see, you cannot blame the mirror. Never look down on a person unless you're giving them a hand up. Love you all. Be strong. Be safe. Who's in the heat wave, be cool. Who's in the water, be dry. And we'll see each other come tomorrow evening in the village, God willing.
Thank you, Tommy.
Thank you.
Yeah, semantics. I will send it. I'll send it. All right. Yeah, semantic. Tell them send you proof so I can put it up for you to see it. Send it. Because that's funny. That one big mistake, I did raging bull in your house. You're lucky didn't eat. He didn't teeth anything. Oh God. Oh God. Caribbean still 1 billion was the overall cost from 2010 to 2015. 1 billion was only for the AG's office, not all ministry under the PNM. Let me see if I got. So Patricia says, God created the world in 6 days and he rested on the seventh day. Good day now, joining live. Jesus said, I am the Sabbath. Blessed evening to you and Uncle Tommy. Thank you, Patricia.
Thank you, Patricia.
Esram the 9 say, how's the weather in New Jersey? Here in Ontario is 44 degrees. I wonder which one is that, Tommy? Fahrenheit or Celsius?
Celsius, that means that it's on fire.
Oh, yeah, all right. All right, Caribbean Soul. That's what I wanted to do, young. Oh boy.
My closing comments while the rain is pouring heavy here. Yeah, there comes a time when it's not the normal, it's not the usual. And that is how it go. And if the tide are up, if the tide are not low, expect some heavy flooding. And that had nothing to do with UNC or PNM. You could dig how much drain you want. We are surrounded by water and we are a very small island. But plenty people wouldn't understand that because in the head, it is we versus them. So anything good, we. That's the mice language. And anything bad, it is them. So vote for we. And then after a cat come and kill the mice. Well, we come down to the end and more as I have said it before because I will always be quoting things that I would have said before, no, because my memory ain't all that bad, My memory ain't all that bad. I can't speak for everybody. I'm speaking for me. There are things I will never forget. All right? And I remember what used to be said on the different platforms. But based on what I'm hearing, that is what I'm responding to. So when somebody from the PNM tell me XYZ, I know how I could respond to that, And somebody from UNC tell me XYZ, I know how I could respond from that, especially if I feel they're standing up to sleep. They're not lying. You understand what I'm saying? But if they're standing up not to sleep, well then no problem. All right?
So, folks, we're going again. All right, just how it began, it is again. Now, they ain't saying anything about the head of security here. They leave that alone. I go leave it alone too. Just for their sake, I ain't gonna deal with that now. I go leave it alone too. Not a word. But God loves each and every one of us. Let's give him our heart. Talk to him, man. Have a good evening.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Florida, you have a minute.
Yeah, Mr. Tommy. I'm saying, see you did stress, so let me give you a little joke. When Gordon was going to school, the teacher asked him, he said, Gordon, what is worse than ants in your pants? He said, well, miss, my uncle. You get this answer?
Nah, I ain't get out.
Where's worse than ants in your pants? You say, my uncle.
Oh, your uncle. Okay.
Yeah. All right, Miss Answer.
All right. Okay, folks. Closing comments. Miss Santa Cruz says, to ignore evil is to become an accomplice to it. Martin Luther King. Mr. Intellectual, closing comment. The hope of a nation is built on the kind of education of the coming generation. He put up this closing comment. 1.4 billion. Well, I don't know which one it is. I don't know which one he actually wants to read. So he had two different ones. So I don't know which one. Krishna, Angela Darius says, Krishna, that was overall money for all ministries and statutory bodies. What PNM spent was for the AG office alone. Caribbean Soul says, when a flower doesn't bloom, you fix the environment it grows in, not the flower. Hey, yeah, correct is right. Michael said the PNM Manifesto is a storybook for Standard 1 infants who wanted a good laugh to have fun. Tommy Mohammed says all the trolls must be real with themselves and know it's the PNM who destroyed everything that's good in Trinidad and Tobago. Semantic 62 says, think before you speak, never say anything that doesn't improve on silence. Yeah, correct is right. You should say that to some of them people and them PNM people. Susan Lalchan says, good evening to all you beautiful people. May God continue to bless and keep you safe throughout this week. Unity is the code. Love, love, love. Thank you, Susan. Tommy Mohammed said, my closing comment is that in order for Trinidad and Tobago to move forward, everybody has to unite to get it done. Okay. So Florida, Caribbean Soul say come back tomorrow at 7 p.m. with at 7 p.m. with another joke. You let me down. Full Sam say walls, Uncle Tommy, thanks for your time. Batman says, that man thinks song I go back. So folks, we are out of here. We see you on tomorrow from 7 to 10 p.m. We are out of here. Let me see if there's a closing comment. Just come in there. All right, we are out of here. See you tomorrow from 7 to 10 p.m. We are out of here. Bye-bye.
No more rain, no more rain. foot, right foot again. No more struggle, no more strain, no more pain. We want to see we way, we want a brighter day. No more Rowley again. Bye bye Rowley, bye bye. Bye bye Rowley, bye bye. We're not voting for you. We tired of the bloodshed, tired of the taxes, tired of the potholes and all the excuses. Tired of no water, tired of stretching at the law, tired of the high grocery bills. No left foot, right foot again. No more struggle, no more strain, no more pain. We want to see we way, we want a brighter day. No more Rowley again. Bye bye Rowley, bye bye. Bye bye Rowley, bye bye. We're not voting for you. We're tired of the bloodshed, tired of the taxes, tired of the potholes and all the excuses. Tired of no water, tired of stretching a dollar, tired of the high grocery bills. No left foot, right foot again. No more struggle, no more strain, no more pain. We want to see we way, we want a brighter day. No more Rowley again. Bye bye Rowley, bye bye. Bye bye Rowley, bye bye. We're not voting for you. No more red, 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 no more red. No left foot, right foot again. No more struggle, no more strain, no more pain. We want to see we way, we want a brighter day. No more Rowley again. Bye bye Rowley, bye bye.